WPHT HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
It is Dom time. Welcome in. I don't get tired of saying it. It is an historic day, and I would argue, and there's a lot of evidence of it, that only the unique qualities of President Trump would bring this about. We're going to play you, though, President Trump's response to Tony Blinken. Remember him? In the Biden years, he's out there saying, well, Biden built this, and Trump just cashed in on what they have been building with Arab leaders. No, it's not just that. It's the fact that Trump bombed Iran back into oblivion, put the fear of God in them, drove them to say, help you, Hamas. We're trying to fend for ourselves here. This is the most unique form. I've said it, as you know, ad nauseum maybe, from the very beginning, with all the stuff that Trump does. The one thing that's the most remarkable when his time in office is over, the legacy is going to be, we're not going to be in unending wars. And kind of a subtext to that, making the peace in his own way, using every lever possible. Biden wouldn't be able to do that in a million years. And I'm not in the camp that says, yeah, he drove Netanyahu toward this. I'm more in the camp that he told Hamas, because he had he had Turkey, Qatar. I give Trump credit, too. The stomach to have to deal with these people. They sicken me. It'd be hard to deal with them. I know what the ultimate goal is, but the Qatarians, or whatever they were called, are just reprehensible. But that's what you have to do to get peace and get the hostages in the Middle East. So it's using strength, not boots on the ground, usually bombing, economic levers. And with Israel, I'm making a case with Hamas that the hostages were going to be continuing to be more of a liability to them, because the world, as much as, in this country, you have crazies who are now not praising this. Where are they? Where is Mark Ruffalo? Where are the AOCs of the world? They're not putting out praise. And Blinken, I'll play you in a second, Blinken saying, well, Trump just built on the Biden peace plan here. Just think about that for a moment. Henry, just give me a signal here when we have that one. And that's just breaking as this happened. But just a quick look back. What a day on Friday. Felt like a Saturday to me, which is usually a good sign. And I went back and reviewed the 40-yard football throw, and by my eye, it is 45.2 inches. We should check that out. 45 yards and about 2 inches. It's just barely over the 45-yard marker. You can check it out on the stations on Talk Radio 1210. It was more than dance. Either that or there was a big wind, or you had a great cinematographer in Kurt. That's the guy I want filming mine. He'll make it look like it goes 50 yards. Yes.
Yeah, it was. It was about 45-ish. And for the record, I told you before we went on the air that I got two angles, and he launched it both times. I mean, it was a hefty throw. So
very good.
Kudos to him. He did an awesome job.
And of course, some of the byplay, I had Frankie Scales, and Ian McGinnis go over and introduce himself to Roe. Roe just kept on telling me afterward, these guys are like out of a movie. Ian McGinnis says, boy, that's a heck of a suit. I'd like to get one for somebody that you're wearing today to Roe. So we got that going on. And, of course, the rally itself, just a couple of observations. It was much younger and much more spiritual than rallies like this in the past. Henry, I'll get your comment in a moment. Let me play, so I don't forget in the heat of this here, the Blinken argument here with President Trump that we built this up. Yeah, good for Trump. He cinched it, but we were the architects of this. All right, here's what Trump said about that from Blinken.
Blinken says it's good that President Trump adopted and built on the plan that the Biden administration developed. What do you think about that?
Everybody knows that's a joke. Look, they did such a bad job. This should have never happened. This wouldn't have even happened. That was weak leadership, terrible. And the same thing with Russia, Ukraine. if just a decent president, not a great president like me, not a great president. If a decent president was in, you wouldn't have had the Russia-Ukraine. And this is, I would say, even more so. This was bad policy by Biden and by Obama. Remember when Bibi came and he begged that you not do what they were doing with Iran? You remember that, right? Begged them. And they wouldn't even listen to him. Everything they did was the opposite of what you should have done. And it's nice that they try and take a little credit. That was years ago, and the mistakes were made years ago, and it was both by Biden and Obama.
All right, notice, boy, it's like Ducey. They're like a setup act here. All right, I'm throwing you this pitch. You're going to hit 400 feet. And Trump goes after Obama on it, too, and all true. It's searching for peace. It's using every lever. It's using American military power. It's using economic power. It's making deals. It's being relentless on this. And it's breaking the Iranians that they no longer were going to bail Hamas out. Now, will this hold? Are we going to go through it? Hey, let's just look at it at this point. Yeah, I think these things are still very difficult. Who knows how crippled Hamas is or not? Very hard to tell. But at this point in time, this is a special moment for President Trump, given the set of skills. Then some others in the media are trying to give a lot of credit to Witkoff and Jared Kushner. I'm sure they worked pretty hard on this. But in the end, is there any doubt who's calling the plays here? Who took something that seems to be impossible and got it done? Because it's not impossible. It just takes a unique set of skills as far as negotiating to make this happen. All right, Henry, you had some comments on Friday, the football throw, et cetera?
Yeah, I think you're shorting me a few yards there.
Oh, man, I didn't think that.
At least on the second throw. The first throw, you know, just kind of getting warmed up. Yeah, I'd agree with the 45 and, what is it, 2 inches, you said? Yeah, I can agree with that. The next one, which it hasn't been posted, you know, maybe it'll never be. Who knows?
Why? What's posted?
Because the first throw's got to be the one that counts, right?
Well, I
don't want to get a warm up. I don't want to have a mulligan at Mulligan's.
No, it's in these circles. You usually get 2 or 3 throws. You know,
okay. He did well in the first throw, and the second throw, he did.
Right.
Second throw would have got me a contract in the NFL.
All right, well then, put that one up. Put it on my Twitter right now. We're going to have people analyze it out there.
Okay.
So, did that Bridgestone ball help you out?
That's my gosh!
Know. Yes.
There's something about that ball because I think I throw a pretty tight spiral. But, man, that thing just flies off your arms, off your hands.
And also, for the record, there was no wind, practically no wind. So he really launched that sucker. Yeah,
it
was impressive.
Whoever said that thing adds 10 yards is correct. I mean, it just slides out your hand. It's perfect. Like if the NFL used that, everyone would be throwing for 500 yards a game. You'd never see the ball ran ever again.
I got to throw some more in there. Maybe I can get close to that 40 yards. That and some steroid injections. No, not really, but we're not going to do that. All right. If you were there at the rally, we'd love to hear from you. It was spectacular. Scott Presler, he'll be here. He's going to be in Doylestown tomorrow. We're going to talk with Heather Torno, who founded a group who is not the Charlie Kirk at the high school, college level. It's people just out of school. And somehow or another, she told me, in just 3 weeks, they already have 15,000 members. What? Well, if you have been there and seen the rally, it wasn't, it was mixed in with the typical political rally, Jack, and all that stuff. But it was also something that had a lot of spirituality and a lot of younger people that were there in the crowd. I tried to throw the Charlie Kirk, I'm holding one up, Freedom shirts. They weren't tightly wound enough. I only got it about 10 yards. That's pretty good.
Now, that's something you need an arm for, is the T-shirt toss. I mean, how many times do you at like a Sixers game or something, and they're throwing them into like the third row?
That's hard to believe.
I saw it, and I saw it. He was like basically like just like lightly.
Right.
Yeah, might as well throw like a Frisbee. I mean, you got to do something to get it going.
They're a little hard to do. But Scott Presler will have them for you tomorrow in Doylestown. He'll tell us about that at 2 o'clock. So you heard Trump on Blinken. You hear where this is going. Scott Jennings will be on the show this week. He talked this morning as the hostages were relieved about wearing the yellow ribbon for over 2 years. And I got to say, a lot of these people, at least on the surface, several that I've seen, look pretty good. And it's amazing their resilience. Several of them talked about having to dig their own graves. You know, the trauma, the psychodrama underground with these murders for over 2 years. It is remarkable. So, you know, how did this get done? This is the best of Trump. This is what he does that I don't know of anybody that would do it. It's relentless. It's driving. It's all those special skills that we talked about. All right. Happy Columbus Day, too. I sent out my usual tweet. Now, Keith Olbermann, a few years ago, didn't like it when I said it took more for Columbus, something like, you know, I couldn't find it today, but it took more for Columbus or more bravery even than Neil Armstrong on the moon. Neil Armstrong had everything in the world. I mean, it's brave, you know, being launched with that underneath you to the moon. Mm-hmm. But Columbus, I read a guide today, the boats, they're tiny. You're going like rowboats across the Atlantic. And the prevailing theory was you were going to fall off the other side of the earth.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving still believes that.
At least the astronauts could phone back to Houston and be like, we have a problem here. Who's Columbus going to talk to?
Yeah, no cell phones there. And just because of this antagonism toward Columbus and some people on the left toward America, they don't. So Olbermann went wild when I put that up. He hasn't bitten yet today. I changed it a little bit. Day is still young on Columbus Day. But I mean, it's true. And Columbus is one of the 5 most influential figures of the last 1,000 years, based upon the fact that he discovered the, quote, new world. All right, so premise today, all-time trailblazers is what we're looking for. Not the Portland Trailblazers, but a pioneer, someone first, and it doesn't have to be an explorer. I'm hearing something there. What is that?
Oh, it's a pioneer of rock and roll, I'd say.
Oh, you want to? Yeah. It's got to be a little louder. Okay.
Well, he's just introducing the song now.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm going to take off the board Da Vinci because I know any year that we do this, that comes up, and I'm going to take off Fosbury of the Fosbury flop. The guy said, "Why can't you jump backwards in the high jump?" I mean, remarkable. Why not? I mean, it would seem, and people, I remember when it happened. Is that even legal? Yeah, just as long as you jump over the bar, you can do whatever you want. Yeah. By the way, I'm celebrating today at James Franklin a little bit later on. And no, taxpayers are not paying in the $48 million, but still, that clown was getting $500,000 a year. We're still going to pay him $4 million of taxpayer money.
Ugh,
Is anybody going to ask about that? How in the world do you pay a guy? If they want to pay him out of some other fund, whatever, but he's on the books, $500,000 in taxpayer money as football coach.
Yeah, but he lost to UCLA and Northwestern.
Well, right, but I mean,
isn't that worth $500,000 right there? How?
Yeah, man. It is shocking that they're willing to eat that. That's how difficult this guy must be. Okay, Henry, who's yours?
Yeah, so I'll take 2 off the board here. How about I'll take a guy that wanted to ensure that no travelers going across this country will ever go hungry ever again. I'm talking about a guy who used to wear a tin pot on his head, traveling state to state, just planting seeds. You know who I'm talking about, Dom?
Appleseed?
Johnny Appleseed.
Yeah, I thought it was Howard Johnson there for a minute. Then it was Howard Johnson.
No, Johnny Appleseed. Nurseryman, an American folk hero who went, town to town being like, hey, you should put an orchard here. Hey, you should put an orchard here. I'm going to plant some seeds here if you don't mind. And I think because of that, we have all these beautiful apple orchards spread out across the country now. The other one I'm going to take off the board is the first man to ever land a 900 in his sport. He also created a line of video games that are still immensely popular with people today. I'm talking about skateboarding legend Tony Hawk, who his influence is so big is that kids who are 9, 10, 11 years old, they can land a 900 now. It took him years upon years upon years.
What is a 900? What do you have?
A 900 is 2.5 revolutions across. So 360 being 1, 720 being 2, and then you add that extra half spin with just a little bit on the end there to get it to 900 degrees that you're rotating in the air when you're going off a half pipe.
So half pipe makes
and because and you're talking about in the 25 30 years that he's done this trick, that little kids now are able to pull this off and even improve on it, going to as far as 1200.
Kirk, how about yours?
So I'm going to go with, since we're in the city of Philadelphia, I'm going to go with Benjamin Franklin.
Okay.
Because he discovered electricity, lightning rod, the stove, bifocals.
Postmaster General.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, well, his book, Wilt Died. I was going to do that today, just the other day. It was his death anniversary. Wilt, 20,000 women, 20,000 rebounds. Ben Franklin, electric stove, and 20,000 women. I don't know about 20,000, but there's French women apparently.
But he had great numbers, I'm sure.
Oh, he did. That's what he's reputed to have. All right. Happy birthday to the Navy in downtown Philadelphia. I'm not sure if their parade's still on or not.
It is still on. As I was walking up to our studios on JFK Boulevard, it's still going on. It's
3 hours in the rain today with this.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad. Not much of a crowd, I would assume. But
no, there's a crowd there.
There is?
There is a crowd there. I was walking by JFK, crossing over 17th Street. Yeah, so it's...
Okay.
They got practically the whole...
Do they have ships on floats? What do they have?
They had float. They had the Army marching band parade... marching band, Navy. They have a singer who was singing.
Okay.
But yeah, it's still ongoing as of when I got here. Yeah, it's still ongoing right now.
All right, 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. Be the first on Columbus Day here on Talk Radio 1210.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate, 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate, 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly. This service is available based on Medicaid eligibility. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782. That's 267-692-3782. To get started today, you get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
At California Psychics, we know that when you haven't found love, it feels like everyone else has. Every movie has a love interest. Every song is a love song. Where are all the songs about cats or the joy of early bedtimes? And of course, the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to help you find the one. We connect you with the very best In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So, you could be feeling all lovey-dovey real soon. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Dom Giordano, weekdays, noon till 3 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
And on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Dom time. Welcome in 855-839-1210. Thanks to Jack Basovic. Very kind words. I'll play that in a moment, Henry. I forgot that one. From the Rich Cioli show on Friday. He used to be an intern, then a salesman here. Now he was one of the headliners, really, at the huge rally, the Ave Maria moment later in the night. It went on for quite long. My God. I know I was supposed to speak around 4:10, 4:15, give or take, and it was closer to 5:30. So I was, this is going to be a long.
You knew
march.
you were in for a long day when
long
going
march
into this.
in here.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So
I shot the video of it. I posted it on the station's Twitter page.
Okay.
So it's about 3.5 minutes long.
Okay. I thought I sent it to you, Henry. The Pasobic.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. First, though. Let's play that a little bit. Here he was with Rich. Here's a little bit of what he said there on the boardwalk. It was a great Rich Cioli show with a lot of big guests. Here's how it sounded.
This is huge to have you both here. This is really great.
Well, look, it's always great to come back home to 1210 AM WPHT.
Yeah, also work.
Do we still call it the Big Talker? Do we go with Big Talker? I don't see it on the signage.
It's Talk Radio.
Just Talk Radio. No, I remember the Big Talker, Philadelphia.
You have 3 million followers on X.
No, but it all started with WPHT back in 2005, 2006 time frame when I'd be sitting out here handing out the little WPHT, we had the ribbon magnets that we were doing, and Dom G, and he's still going. They actually used to let me sit next to Dom, and I would always say, hey Dom, you get all these books. What do you do with them when you're reading all these books? He's like, well, if you want some of these books, go ahead and read them. And I read every single one of those.
Well done.
Every single one. So I really credit a lot to WPHT, and it's just amazing to see the growth of the station and the success and the fact that it is still the leading talk radio in the area.
Yeah, it is. That's absolutely
That's the best station in the country. Best station in the country.
Dude, look at you. I appreciate that. That's amazing.
All right. On stage, that bloviation, I think, was me at that point because he told me when he was saying that he was, So it was an enthusiastic crowd. Thanks to Jack. For remembering all that. I think he was here around 2005 or so.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought he was at WWDB. I have to check on that. He left and came back. There were things going on there. But I just remember him getting a ticket speeding to get Pat Buchanan somewhere at an event we were doing. And we were at Joey Vento's doing a remote, and he pulled in exhausted from
I'm sure
getting Pat Buchanan on time.
Hope the station picked that one up.
You know what? They don't do stuff like that. At least they didn't do it then. Yeah, you would. I would agree. All right, you got the side question today. Somebody who is a trailblazer, a pioneer, think outside the box. Doesn't have to be an explorer. Doesn't have to be anything like that. That's what we're looking for. Now, Jimmy Kamal started this, but we have a whole array. The new talking point of the left is there is no such a thing as Antifa. Yeah. They may get together at times, and, sometimes they go a little bit overboard. Listen to this outright moron, this dope. And I'm not saying that just because of politics. He is a dope. Swerve into a lane that he knows nothing about. This is on a show, I guess, on Friday, where he picks up on the talking point. Why are we going after so-called Antifa? They really don't exist.
And he's arresting all the rabble-rousers to prove it.
We have arrested dozens of individuals that are Antifa members or affiliated with them, and I want to thank our Attorney General for prosecuting them and making sure they never see the light of day again.
That's just the Secretary of Homeland Security suggesting we lock up American protesters for life.
They have been so bold in making sure we're bringing those individuals to justice. One of the individuals we arrested recently in Portland was the girlfriend of one of the founders of Antifa.
Finally, they got the girlfriend of one of the founders of Antifa. You understand? There's no Antifa. This is an entirely imaginary organization. There is not an Antifa. This is no different than if they announced they rounded up a dozen Decepticons. We've captured the Chupacabra, everyone. And then it was Trump's turn to ratchet up the rhetoric with fiery images conjured from no one has any idea where.
One thing I have to say is that Washington, D.C. was almost as bad. I don't know what could be worse than Portland. You don't even have stores anymore. They don't even put glass up. They put plywood on their windows.
Poor people, they look out the window, they see wood. They don't have glass.
You know what, Jimmy Kamal? Maybe if they came to your neighborhood, came to your house, you might realize how destructive. Maybe if they pointed lasers at you trying to blind you. But you're too stupid to recognize this because somebody must have sent you the memo. Here is a montage, great montage, of suddenly people on the left saying, what Antifa? What are we talking about here? It's not really a group. They're not centralized. They're not doing anything.
I argue to you tonight, all punches are not equal morally. In the eyes of the law, yes. But in the eyes of good and evil, here's the argument.
They are strictly principled anti-fascists. And what they see in the Trump administration and what they see happening in this country, they see the neo-fascism that we see. And they've taken a principled stand to stand against white supremacists and white nationalists wherever they may show up.
It says it right in the name, Antifa, anti-fascism, which is what they were there fighting. Listen, there's no organization is perfect. There was some violence.
I think that a lot of people recognize that when pushed, self-defense is a legitimate response to white supremacist and neo-Nazi violence.
Yes. The problem is to equate the violence in reaction against bigotry with the bigotry itself is to misunderstand the fact that when you go to cancer treatment, the radiation is tough treatment, but it is meant to remove the cancer.
There's a group of anti-fascists called the Black Bloc, which do tend to get violent. Their idea is, look, nonviolence hasn't worked, and we are going to try to stop this. But they wouldn't have been there. They wouldn't have been anywhere near there had it not been for the fact that white supremacists, neo-Nazis, were out scaring the living daylights out of most of the people in that town.
Thuggishness is thuggishness wherever it comes from politically, and we should be the first to call it out.
I disagree.
All right, there you go. That's the corporate verb. We got a little bit more. We'll play another one. We have the new talking point following Kimmel. Well, there's not really an Antifa. You're making this up. All right, side question. Hit us with that all-time trailblazer, pioneer, innovator, somebody that in any field. That's what we're looking for in honor of Columbus. Get in on that today. Might be an easier day. Columbus Day, fewer people. Get your name in to start off the week. We'll have a big prize at the end of the week. Now, thanks to a couple things. So I'm getting ready to go on stage. And even though I think the police protection there is unbelievable at the rally, backstage, everybody's talking, Henry, because we see suddenly a New York Post article about Benny Johnson and how they did catch one person, and there might be more there, sending threatening letters. They were going to kill his family and him. And he ended up making a video and didn't come to the event. But suddenly, you're on stage and you start to take a little view. You start looking at all the rooftops there and wow. But then I felt reassured. You take a look on the beach. They had guys on the beach.
That's good.
Yeah, exactly. You want guys on the beach. Are they going to be coming in by boat and firing at us? And Mike Donahue, and I want to make this point again and again, sitting right next to him at Mulligan's with the mayor of North Wildwood, Patrick Rosanella, who had a big role in this. And he said, sure, we're here. There'll be an honoring of Charlie Kirk. It's political to get Jack Ciattarelli elected, but it's also to say we're not going to cower. We're going to have big events like this. We're going to have efficient law enforcement, and boy, they were. And we're going to pull this off, and you're not going to disrupt us with violence or threats of violence. And that's exactly what we saw. But I don't know how, somebody like Kirk would go into the midst of this. Well, let me say that. Post Charlie Kirk. Before that, He had security. He probably thought someone might attack him when he's sitting there debating. But the idea of long range taking out a guy who essentially is just doing a debate, not a presidential candidate, not a president, was unheard of. Well, now it's heard of. So kudos to Mike Donahue. This was unbelievable, but it didn't feel oppressive. You were able to move around. Sure, there were a lot of eyes on a lot of stuff. And the Seaport Pier is just a great venue for this. And, of course, standing there with the ocean as a backdrop, nothing more beautiful. I decided to go after those that would have despoiled it and how we beat them. And also swerved into the guy in Virginia who wants to kill many Republicans, apparently, that wants to be the Attorney General. So coming up, your calls. And we're trying to get this woman on. Several people sent this to me. Danielle Bellarmo, who is a candidate for school board, and some of the other Democrats that oppose her were in a group chat that they labeled "That Bee Needs to Die." What? These are candidates for school board with big-time jobs, etc. Heck of the Democrats are doing a lot of group chatting here. All right, so we'll see if we can turn. It's just endless. Now, people on the right have done stuff like this. The media publicizes all of it, catalogs all of it. All right, we'll give you details on that. Hit us on the side question, 855-839-1210.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
If you have Medicaid and are new to Medicare, you may qualify to enroll in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual eligible special needs plan with a lot more benefits like dental, vision, and hearing, along with helpful support when you need it most. Now is the time to see if you qualify to enroll. It only takes a few minutes to find out if you're eligible. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options. So this Medicare planning season, we can help you plan well. Learn more at humanaduals.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a dual-eligible special needs HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
It's that time of year again to replace your old drafty windows and doors. If this sounds like something on your to-do list, then turn to my good friends at Guida Door and Window. Guida will help you save big this fall with their buy one, get one half off sale on all qualifying windows and doors. For every door and window you buy, you get a second one at 50% off. And you can mix and match these savings to suit your own needs. Buy an entry door, get half off a storm door. Buy a patio door, get 50% off a window. Need to replace all the windows and doors in your house? Then you'll save 50% on half your project. The more you need, the more you save. Plus, start your project with no money down and take 18 months to pay it off with no interest. Offers for a limited time only and restrictions apply. So call Guida today to schedule a free no-obligation in-home estimate at 877-GO-GUIDA or visit them at GoGuida.com. That's go, GUIDA.com.
Not only does Progressive Insurance let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Quote today at Progressive.com.
Weather sponsored by Moderna.
Cloudy, windy, and showers all day today with a high getting up to about 58 degrees. Cloudy tonight with a low getting down to about 55. More clouds moving in tomorrow with a high getting up to about 67, almost up to 70 degrees.
mNEXSpike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna has arrived. To learn more and find it near you, visit mnexspike.com. That's mnexspike.com.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT from the Piazza Auto Group Studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations.
All right, the saga continues. The media doesn't know what to do with the Trump broker deal here with the hostages. So CNN's Christian Amanpour claims the Israeli hostages were probably better treated, when you look at it, to Caitlin Collins, than the average Gazan. What the hell? Can you imagine? My God. Really? Look, it's not a picnic in Gaza, given Hamas and given Israel going after them there, without a doubt. But the average hostage, come on. They had it easy. They're underground. They're digging their own graves. They're already, the graves there already. All they have to do is fall in. Come on. God.
Oh,
they cannot stop themselves. And Caitlin doesn't seem to me to be pushing back. It was more like, all right, let's move on here. The Gazans had it worse.
Yeah, they could put their feet up.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
Had 5-star room service.
Oh,
every
yeah.
night.
That's all underground. It's a new world, you know. But you ought to try it. Let's go down there in those tunnels. They're beautiful. My goodness. The rats. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, they make nice pets. God. Let's go to Joe in Columbus on Talk Radio 1210. Thank you, dear Kirk. Hi, Joe. Welcome in.
Hey, Dom. I'll tell you what. You look sharp Friday, and you did a great job. I'm still trying to get my voice back, but that was one fantastic day.
Oh, it was. Did you stay there till the end, Joe?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
you had
man.
To.
Wow.
You had to. That candlelight vigil. Like I said, I still haven't got my voice back, Dom.
Well, I watched the video several times of Presler. I'm surprised he could walk off after that. It was like James Brown performing his best work, you know? God.
Oh, and he did his typical include the audience in his, the video behind him and all that.
Oh, yeah.
That was good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I expect you to wear your salmon shirt, but you look tops. You look tops.
Oh, well, thank you, Joe. It's that denim. It's very flattering. The black denim, the black denim. And, Joe, you know what I love, too? The radio station. I saw you guys near Rich's. No radio station's going to be on a boardwalk with everything going on and mulligans. It's really hard to do. And when we got Jack and Presler together with me the last half hour there, that was nuts.
Yeah, and just, I said it before, and I'll continue to say it, the community and the inclusivity that you guys have generated is special.
Well, thank you, Joe. You know what's next now that we've seen Henry throw the ball? He claims that there was, at the 50-yard throw, alleged, there was a guy that dropped the ball, kind of like Dave of Somerset, right, Henry? We don't want to say names yet. We may reveal that soon, though.
That video's up on your Twitter already, so you can go check it out.
You can check out who dropped the ball of a perfect 50-yard pass.
Dave Somerset, I was talking to him Friday. He still regrets not having Stickum on his hand.
Well, he's coming around to my point of view. It wasn't an easy throw, but given the lights and all, can you imagine if I smash a light, comes down on a woman's head at the neck, what the problems would be? Yes.
I can see a disclaimer coming up in any other future event.
Oh, yeah. So, Joe, what do you have today? What's your side?
Dom, if this guy didn't innovate what he innovated, we wouldn't have a Henry controversy today. We probably wouldn't have a Bridgestone football. And it's a gentleman by the name of Bradbury Robinson who created the idea of the forward pass. Because up until then, football was basically just a rugby sport.
Yeah, was that in the 1890s? When was it that he did?
It was early 1900s, 1905 to 1910.
Can you imagine the first time the guy throws the ball and they go, you can't be doing that? Then they look at the rules. Why not?
Yeah.
Well, Joe,
Not
up
here
until
anywhere.
that time, I think it was outlawed at one point. The flying wedge was a lot worse
Oh,
than the
gosh,
the
yeah.
tush push.
Yeah. That was.
Talk about
yeah,
players
that
getting
was,
injured.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's a good one,
Yeah.
Joe. Thank you, Joe. Thanks for the nice words, too. Yeah, it was a great moment. Shall we reveal, or maybe he'll call in today? I didn't know he was out there. He's got a big place to run with all those guests, and he's out there catching a 50-yard football.
Yeah, a few of us came out to throw the football
And
around.
Robin Schaefer from Protect Our Coast,
Yes.
he threw a pretty good.
Did he?
Yeah, he's got a solid arm.
He got a solid arm. Did it
okay.
pretty well.
All
Not
right.
as good as Henry.
Did he throw it 40 yards?
About half, maybe. I have
Okay.
video of that too.
Yeah.
I have video of that too.
Yeah, he's got cooked up video evidence of everything that went down.
Exactly
Okay.
right.
Down that street.
All right. It's at Dom Show 1210 at Dom Show 1210. You can see that. Do we see who the person is that dropped the ball?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
In
man.
clear crystal
All right,
HD.
crystal clear. I didn't know that. All
You
right.
don't need any replay review.
We don't
Exactly
need any
right.
review. It's right in there. I mean, I heard there were not wind gusts. Everything was
Nope.
fine.
Calm breeze.
Calm breeze. All
Yep.
right. That's the side. Joe's the first one in. 855-839-1210. So this school board member, this is an affluent district in New Jersey. New York Post reporting photos of this guy, Scott Semia. They got on a group. Now, as soon as you get on a group text chat labeled, that blank needs to die, then they're talking about this woman's body, too. She must be cold. Her blank could cut glass, right? One text after another. And the title is, she's a MAGA. She's a Trump supporter running for the school board, or she already is in the school board. We're trying to get her on because this is just another example of where we're headed every day that political violence is acceptable. And instead of today saying, look, we differ with Trump on a bunch of things, got to give credit here. This was unique to make this happen. Any number of these people are engaged like Christine Amanpour in saying, well, the hostages had it better than the average person in Gaza. One other Mikey Sherrill thing to keep your eye on. But by the way, too, I'm not sure that Phil Murphy, but to the best of my knowledge, Phil Murphy has not come back from Europe. Now, look, this isn't Hurricane Sandy. But don't you think that in a political campaign, he'd come back, maybe have Mikey Sherrill with him rallying the troops, because the weather is pretty severe over the weekend in South Jersey. I mean, we got in on Friday, but yesterday, it's not catastrophic as far as I can tell, but it's not good. And it canceled a lot of stuff, and today's not good either. Wouldn't that be something as governor? You jump on a plane, come back, be there on the scene, then go back to your villa, your Italian villa worth $7 million in Italy. This guy's a clown. He's a creep. And he's playing out the strings, so he just doesn't have it within him. And he has the flunky lieutenant governor that nobody's ever heard of be issuing all these alerts. Now, in New York, they used the subterfuge, I think, of the state of alarm to cancel the parade. And people are now calling for the Columbus Day parade to be rescheduled. I don't believe it will be in Philadelphia. And that's a shame, because this year was the return of Columbus. The Philadelphia public schools must not have gotten that memo, though. They're still celebrating today Indigenous Peoples Day. So the next thing that George Paquetta has to do is decouple that Indigenous from Columbus Day. It's Columbus Day. Let them have their own day. They did before. They can't piggyback after attacking Columbus. But this is a day where the attacks on Columbus are about Columbus, but they're also about America. That's what goes on here. And on the average Columbus Day, they go wild. I mean, I've seen red paint splattered all over down there at Marconi Plaza and over at the Italian American Museum on Passyunk Avenue. That's how I first met the curator of the museum and had him on. The left on this day just will not accept it. They're out of control in this also. So 855-839-1210, you get a line. But that would have been an unbelievable parade yesterday, but it was canceled, I don't know, on Saturday, I think, because of the weather concerns. Okay, we have great guest, Charlie Kirk's birthday tomorrow. When we have at 1 o'clock, I met at the rally. Already 15,000 members of a group that's not quite like Turning Point. It's for people a little bit older. He's only had it 3 weeks in 6 groups, I think, in South Jersey. Remarkable story. And tomorrow, to celebrate that birthday, our own Scott Presler will be out there in Doylestown registering voters, giving out Freedom T-shirts. I think he has hats, too. And we'll get him on for a bit each hour to give you an update. Maybe Diane Marseglia will be coming into the office. I think he's there from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So he's coming up at 2 o'clock today.
Got a full day in.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a lot. I mean, these T-shirts, they had boxes of them back there. Look pretty good. They fit pretty well. And the hats, everybody in the world, has to be fired.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I thought after the 10th person did it, so I just faded back to throw the T-shirt maybe about 10 yards.
Yeah.
I wish I had the Bridgestone football. I would have thrown it in.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, you can't do that.
There's the new contest. How far can you throw a T-shirt? If they put you on the court during a Sixers game to throw out T-shirts, could you get it to people in the cheap seats?
I think one may have gone 15 yards, 18 yards. That's about the max.
Yeah.
You can't. I started lofting them way up, hoping the wind would catch them. They don't even flutter. They just drop right away.
Yeah.
You got to really tightly wound them. I wanted a guy to roll them up even smaller. Any advantage. You run up to the stage. You got to watch you don't fall off. It was backstage, though, wonderful. I met an actress who played
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, who Henry might come on. She said she wanted to come on. So hopefully her brother will get back in touch with us, but knew all about the station. And said she feels she can still get roles, but it gets tougher the more she supports Trump and people like Jack Ciattarelli. She also had, I was more chattering her up about the fact she was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I didn't care about the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, I had no idea she was.
Yeah, she had a bit role in that, not a big enough role.
And she was in Big Daddy.
Yeah, but Ferris Bueller's.
I'm not going to lie about that one.
I don't think she was on the Dunkashane. That scene is just a keeper. All right. We don't take Donald Trump as an answer, Kirk, so you can tell Ed another one.
Okay.
Yeah, no Bible, no Donald Trump. It's unfair.
Okay. All right,
We'd
no
always
low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, no line,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha.
All right, 855-839-1210, though. That's how you get in right now. Hey, my friends at Martin Water Conditioning are celebrating their 52nd anniversary with their biggest savings event of the year. Now through the end of October, save on better water for your entire family. We've enjoyed crystal clear drinking water in our home for years thanks to Martin Water Conditioning. This is a great opportunity for you to do the same. We love it, and the Martin Water Conditioning family is incredible to work with. Nobody is as passionate about water. You can save up to $500 on select systems for your home. You want to improve your drinking water? Martin's is offering $100 off Connecticut's K5 drinking system. Save $40 off the UV sterilizers. Special 24-hour financing, 24-month financing is available to those who qualify. If you already own a water conditioning system, enjoy exclusive offers on salt and filters just when you visit one of their central Pennsylvania locations. Here's the bottom line. For all the details, call Martin Water today or visit martinwater.com. They are incredibly passionate about showing you the impurities coming out of water. It's martinwater.com. The sale ends October 31st. Give your family the gift of better water this fall. martinwater.com.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Pennsylvania can count on.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, Well, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
The nor'easter that struck Jersey yesterday is relenting, but high tides still bring risks of flooding through this afternoon. The new list of cities that President Trump wants to send the National Guard to does not include Philadelphia. And New Jersey Transit is debuting new systems to stop fare evaders, including 8-foot-tall platform gates at Newark Airport.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
House stealing. It's a nightmare that's real. It's the FBI's term for thieves stealing your home's title and draining your equity. Just one fake document filed with a recorder, and scammers can own your home on paper, drain your equity, and do it all without you even knowing. Imagine waking up to a foreclosure or eviction notice. Listen to former title thief Matt Cox.
What people don't realize is the ease in which this crime can happen. I can take the deed to your house and I can transfer that deed into my name. It's a great crime, and it's happening all the time.
So how can you stop the nightmare and protect yourself? Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO and get a 30-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Don't wait. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now, promo code RADIO.
Hey, Royers Ford, remember to tell your smart speaker to play 1210 WPHT.
It is Dom time. Of course, the return of the bodies of the hostages still a remaining issue, and you can understand the families, et cetera, and we'll see how that plays out with Hamas. Mehdi Hassan of MSNBC has been busy today deleting a tweet about the ways the Gaza war was worse than the Holocaust. Oh, man, when you wake up on Columbus Day and say, yep, I'm going to rain on this peace parade with the president today. I'm going to tell you how being in Gaza was worse than the Holocaust. It's like Christine Amanpour. Yeah, it was worse in Gaza than it was for the hostages. They will not stop. They will not stop. They cannot stop. A large part of it is because Trump is involved, but maybe even a bigger part is because they're not serious about this war being over and all that. They like the idea of continually accusing Israel of genocide. They're anti-Semitic. They're anti-Israel. They are fired up by watching TikTok, a lot of these people on the left. Here's a little bit in the Knesset. And when we went to Israel with about 30 listeners, we did visit the Knesset. You know, I got to sit in the seat of the moderator that's there. It's not as gravitas, I would say, as the floor of the House or the Senate. But Henry, here's a little bit of the scuffle. And I think it was about 32 or so of these people that were thrown out. I'm looking for President Trump saying that was very efficient here. Yes, it's cut 17. There were 2 ejected, youtube.com/1210. There were 2 ejected, but then about 30 more at one point or another were kicked out during the Trump speech, cut 17.
Everybody loves Steve, and they respect him, and they somehow can relate to him. I've known him for many years, and I've seen it over and over again.
להוציא גם את חבר
כסיף, להוציא את חבר הכנסת כסיף מהאולם. להוציא אותו מיד. Sorry for that, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Please.
That was very efficient.
Trump was sitting on that line, I think, probably knowing, can't we bring these guys over here to take?
Oh, yeah, he's definitely going to take some of the Mossad training methods and bring them back to the Secret Service.
Is the Mossad overrated? Sometimes I think they're overrated, but then I look at American institutions and how they have failed. The Secret Service is not what I think it once was. The only institution out there that has never failed, to the best of my, and still is the too big to fail, is the Navy SEALs. They still have kept that kind of credibility versus some of this other stuff that we say. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is push pound 1210. Coming up, Heather Torno. Met her at the event, had heard about her. Imagine an organization kind of piggybacking off Turning Point. She says she's a novice, starts this up in South Jersey, 15,000 members in 3 weeks. What's happening here? She'll explain, and tomorrow, the connection to Charlie Kirk's birthday. You get in, though, on the side question at 855-839-1210.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. So excited to announce our next official Politics and Pints with the #1 guy, Jack Carr. You heard that right. International best-selling author, Navy SEAL Jack Carr, Monday, October 13th, 7:30 p.m., the Zlock Performing Arts Center at Bucks County Community College in Newtown, PA. I'm going to sit down with Jack, an incredible discussion on his Cry Havoc book tour, the latest release in the James Reese series. Get your tickets today. It will sell out. 1210WPHT.com.
It's the perfect time to get inside a new Toyota at Tri-County Toyota. Right now, lease a new 2025 RAV4 LE all-wheel drive for just $309 a month for 36 months. Or buy and get 4.75% financing for 60 months. Or check out a new 2025 Tacoma 4-wheel drive double cab SR5 and lease for $239 a month for 36 months. Or get rates as low as 2.99% for 48 months. Visit us online at TriCountyToyota.com to see more.
The working families of La Una Labor's District Council of Pennsylvania, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia are proud contributors to all aspects of growth in this great city. The Labor's District Council provides safe, well-trained, productive workers who enable projects to be done on time and under budget. We appreciate our signatory contractors and their commitment to fairness and equality. Laborers, we're building a better future today.
Brought to you by the Laborers District Council Licit Fund.
Just grabbing my charger. Heading to Sam's for dinner.
Okay, but you'll miss your favorite tenderloin.
Wait, is that the Tuscan herb?
Mm-hmm. Hatfield marinated Tuscan herb. That's a real shame.
Did I say I was going to Sam's? Sam's coming here. Keep up, Dad.
When better care leads to better pork, it's irresistible. Hatfield Pork. Better care, better pork. Find yours at simplyhatfield.com.
The talks that formed modern democracy took place in Philadelphia 250 years ago. Now, talks about the future of our democracy are taking place here once again. Visit Philadelphia is proud to host the TED Democracy Speaker Series, a powerful exploration of how we can build a society where everyone has access to education, economic mobility, safety, and dignity. Taking place October 14th at the Penn Museum in University City. Register for this free event today at visitphilly.com/TED.
Of course, we all need to save a little cash these days. Saving money on your utility bills is a great start. Sign up for the CNC Heating and Air Conditioning Maintenance Plan. Minimize the wear and tear of your system and lower your energy bills this winter. If your HVAC needs replacing, CNC makes budgeting for your new system a snap with 0% financing options. Schedule an estimate today with CNC Heating and Air Conditioning, your local York certified comfort experts. Start saving today. Visit cc-hvac.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
All right, it is Dom time, and we told you some of the highlights of the rally, but for me, backstage, meeting our next guest here on the Dom Show, Heather Torno, was one of those highlights because it's remarkable on the cusp of the birthday celebration of our remembrance of Charlie Kirk, and Kirk being remembered there, she started a group, and we'll get the motivation to do that, Turning Point Action in South Jersey. One of the conversations we had in a few weeks, they had 15,000 members. If you had seen any footage of that rally or you were there, you would see that it was younger than previous rallies that we've seen in a situation like the governor's race, and much more spiritual, I would say, with a lot of the speakers tapping into that. It was incredibly that way, much different than just the usual big political rally. This is one of the biggest I've been at in a governor's race. Joining us is Heather Torno, Turning Point Action, South Jersey on Talk Radio 1210. Heather, thank you. Thanks for joining us today, and nice to meet you on Friday.
Hi, Dom. Thanks so much for having me. Friday was really electric. It was great to be there.
So as I said, that was a much, we've done 50, 100 of these over the years, and that crowd was younger and more spiritual. Turning Point Action is sort of in the sphere of what Charlie Kirk had, but different. How is it different, Heather? What have you done?
So Turning Point USA is more geared for students ages 14 to 18. They have chapters presence in high schools and colleges throughout the country. Charlie, before he passed, had a goal of having a chapter, and I believe it was 20,000 high schools and colleges throughout the country. We now know that that's been blown out of the water. We have so many chapters in high schools and universities throughout the country. Turning Point Action is more of the political arm of Turning Point, where it can back political candidates and have involvement in different areas of the country. So when Charlie passed, I was inspired to start a Turning Point Action New Jersey advocacy group to get the people of New Jersey together and have a grassroots activism in our area.
And again, you told me something along the lines within 3 weeks you had 15,000 members.
Yeah. It's been a month now since Charlie's passed. His birthday's tomorrow, and we have 15,000 members in our group. And I think the big thing is that when Charlie passed, a lot of people, my parents didn't realize. I knew the day that he passed the gravity of how it impacted the Christian community and the younger community. I'm in my 30s, and especially kids in their 20s. How much Charlie impacted our generations and how many people were going back to church because of Charlie in our generation. There's a great impact there.
I was surprised, as I think I told you, Heather, maybe I've said on the air, I was surprised. I only knew him, talk radio, national figure and all that. But the rally that we saw the other day, in my view, was much different for a political rally like that than we've seen. It was younger. And speaker after speaker tapped into the spirituality, I'd say, in one form or another.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I think we can thank Charlie for that, for bringing those two things together and not being afraid to talk about his faith and saying that this is in the political realm and we need to talk about it, whether it's, the church that I go to Landmark Church in Ocean City. Matt Mayer was the pastor that led the rally, an amazing pastor, but he talks about that this is politics and our faith are one and the same, and we need to be able to talk about it. And Charlie was definitely a leader in that conversation.
So tomorrow, the first time we celebrate his birthday, October 14th, what will Turning Point Action, what will you be trying to do tomorrow?
So everyone nationwide is going to be wearing red to support Charlie. And we have Charlie's birthday celebration in South Jersey. We have a vigil going on, and a kind of a rally going on in South Jersey in Burlington County, where we're going to be celebrating Charlie and getting together. And we're doing so much as a group on the back end as far as registering, but just real grassroots activism, registering voters, we've got county groups now in all the 8 southern New Jersey counties where we're getting people together, knocking on doors, making phone calls, assisting churches to start Turning Point Faith chapters, guiding students to start Turning Point USA chapters, partnering with political organizations in our counties, and just really mobilizing conservatives across the state through Turning Point Action.
What's the issue in the governor's race, though? Is it in the spirituality, the issue of that Kirk would be seizing on Heather? Is there one in this race between Cheddarelli and Cheryl?
I mean, I think Republicans have a strong faith. I don't think Cheryl is embracing that at all. I mean, if, in the presidential election, you could see they were very adamant that, you're at the wrong rally if you're here and you're talking about your faith and you're praying to God. And that's not us. And Turning Point especially is embracing that, go to church, bring a friend. We work alongside of Turning Point Faith, where we're opening chapters in different churches throughout New Jersey. So for us, it's one and the same. And I believe Jack Cheddarelli definitely supports that.
15,000 or so, though. What do you attribute that to? Charlie Kirk, the memory, but I think you were suggesting all along this was there. He was that type of figure, and now people are finally organizing and taking action, right?
I mean, absolutely. I have friends. I've always been, kind of a conservative activist, always very outspoken. That was me personally. But when I saw friends of mine who just really never wanted to engage in the conversation, calling me the day after Charlie died, and they said, I went and I registered to vote. I am going to be voting in this election for the first time. And just his passing impacted people that, I think didn't even realize how much it would impact them. I mean, surely people who were very involved, it did, but it impacted so many people in such a grave way.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that rally was evidence of it. Do you have a website set up or Facebook, Heather, where people can go? So you mentioned Burlington County, too, a vigil.
So we're on Facebook. The group is called Turning Point USA New Jersey. It's Turning Point Action New Jersey. So if you just go on Facebook or Google, we have an Instagram, we have an X account, but we are mainly a group on Facebook because that's where people are sharing what they're doing in their communities. And on our Facebook group, Turning Point Action New Jersey, you can find the link to your county group, whatever county you're in New Jersey, and then see what we're doing on a smaller scale in your, right in your backyard.
When you spoke on Saturday, can you give listeners a sense? What was your message?
Just that, I'm a mom, I'm a housewife, I'm a nurse. I was always very outspoken, but a mutual friend of Erica Kirk's called me that morning and told me that Charlie had been shot. And when he was called to the Lord, I knew in that moment that our world was never going to be the same. And I felt compelled to do something. I needed to do something. I created this group, and I mean, it grew like wildfire. It's been a month. We have 15,000 people in our group that are wanting to do something, not just sitting back, but wanting to be in action. And my message is just that there's people out there who might not know about our group. We're there. We're working together to change New Jersey in honor of Charlie. And please, join us. Please join us. Come find us. We are doing so much in the community. and, to bring God back into our schools, protect parental rights, defend the unborn, make New Jersey safe and affordable and a place that we're proud to live. And it starts with each and every one of us. I might be a housewife. We can have an impact no matter who we are. We just have to be doing it together. And so I just really want to challenge people to please join Turning Point Action of New Jersey on Facebook and get involved.
Absolutely. And again, you just went through several issues that a new governor would have a lot of power, or some power at least, to move the ball forward. How about the assembly races and the Senate races, or are you just focused on the governor's race at this point?
Right now, the governor's race is coming up. I believe, with every ounce of my being that Jack is going to be our next governor. I think the tide has turned. I think people are fed up. I think with Charlie's passing, people are empowered to do something and make a change. And right now we're really focusing on Jack because he has so much impact on us as residents of New Jersey on what happens. I mean, COVID really showed us that, how much our governor impacts our lives, our jobs, our families, the food we put on our table, the schools that our children attend. And we're really focused on that. But we're working with even our local government. We're working with school boards to make sure that the school boards aren't just stocked with people who have a woke agenda and won't allow Turning Point or Christianity in their schools. So we're working with any political organization, even on the smallest scale.
Well, Heather, thank you. It is amazing. You're right. And tomorrow would be an amazing day with this. And please keep us in the loop. We want to promote anything that you're doing as we head down to the wire here in the governor's race. Thanks, Heather.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right, Heather Torno here on Talk Radio 1210. This rally was much different, as I said, in those two accounts, younger, more spiritual. The pastor that she referenced was amazing in what he presented. All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board with the side question. So tomorrow we'll have Scott Presler over here in Doylestown, and I think he's there 9 out, 10, whatever it is. We'll get him on a little bit each hour to give you an update. He'll be there at the courthouse area. He's on it too. He'll give you all the details. And he's got a lot of these freedom T-shirts to give out, hats, etc., registering people to vote, making a statement on that day. The impact is enormous, much more than I would have thought coming out of this. It still has legs. It's still moving forward. And I think it's going to play a role in this governor's race. Something else that might play a role in the governor's race, New York Post has this today, that a Communist Chinese Party-linked businessman in New Jersey has donated $65,000 to Mikey Sherrill. Of course. I mean, they already have. How in the world are the Communist Chinese Party affiliates in Singapore controlling our Easy Pass in Jersey? How's that? What are they up to with that? Well, I saw in 60 Minutes last night, they went to the town, I think it was Littleton, Massachusetts, small town, and tried to take over the water system there. And it was thought they were experimenting to see if they could poison it. Why there, the guy said. Well, that's what they were talking about. Look, not only on big things. I come back to this all the time when we had Ennis Cantner on. The LeBron Jameses of the world and others telling us to shut up because Daryl Morey said free Hong Kong, and they went wild. They are probing around the clock. And I'm still not satisfied. I want one guy who's driven to take this menace on that Trump goes to constantly and Congress goes to marshal our forces against this. And the guy, sadly, on 60 Minutes was the general who used to head up the Joint Chiefs. I'm not sure the reason, he was dismissed. This guy was right out of Great Americans in the 60 Minutes piece. But why Littleton? Because they're doing this all over the place. That's why. They were on college campuses with these cockamamie Confucius centers. They're stealing everything that isn't nailed down as far as intellectual property. They threaten the NBA publicly. We saw it play out. They're scared to death of them. On and on and on it goes. They are not an adversary. They're the enemy of the world, an existential threat that we saw during COVID. How much more do you need to see? Now, if you're president, you got to, at least on the surface, try to pretend with them a little bit. I get that. But we need guys who see them for what they are, whether it takes 20 years, 30 years, they don't care. They are determined to dominate the world, and we're in the way. And right now, I think we have the upper hand. But as I said, they are relentless in the minutia of this stuff. Small town, I think they said 10,000, something like that. And the guy there was like, what the hell is going on here? Who's buying this up and what they're doing? And they did say in the middle of it, poison the water. In other words, the argument was this with China. If they made a move, Taiwan, whatever, and we were facing off with them and then we have all this noise here. We have all this distraction of poison water or whatever, maybe 8 to 10 sites across the country. They're trying to distract so that in the big moment, we have to deal with all this nonsense. That's exactly who they are and what they are. And the world, the rest of the world, you can't count on them. They're either unable, unwilling to face up to what a menace up and down the line they are. There is no other way of putting it. And this guy giving $65,000, strong ties, says the Post, to the Chinese Communist Party. He's the founder of Wang Sang American Corporation, cut at least 2 checks to the super PAC, and then gave her $5,800 himself, which is the maximum allowable. Again, this is something you shouldn't take and should be returned. You can say, well, we didn't know. Now you know. They did great work on this, the Post. They already have the Easy Pass system. If I'm Chettarelli, I'm linking these two things together. I'm sick and tired of them buying up farmland, putting balloons over us, etc. All right, coming to you on the side question. It's 855-839-1210. Let's talk Dr. Bentz for a moment first, though. Let's talk about my friend, board-certified prosthodontist, my dentist for the last 10 years, Dr. Robert Bentz, because there is exciting news. There's always news with the Bentz Dental Group. But Dr. Bentz and Dr. Cooley Bentz are thrilled to welcome a new prosthodontist to their team. That would be their daughter, Dr. Emily Bentz. Now, Dr. Emily is highly trained, is going to add a lot. Now we have 2 prosthodontists there. We talked about how that frees up more time, more schedule space for you in a busy life. She's thrilled to join her father in continuing to provide the highest quality care and solution-based treatments for the most complex dental challenges. As I said, Dr. Bentz, I've been seeing for 10 years, and he's gotten me to change various things that have really resulted in much better oral health. Get on the road to great dental health and the smile that you've always wanted. Call and schedule your appointment now. Get that initial look-see with Dr. Bentz and see what he's all about. 610-272-6949. That's 610-272-6949. Or you can see everything. Visit BentzDentalGroup.com. That's BENTZ dentalgroup.com.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
I'd like to see what would happen to Zach Bryan if he spit in the face of an ICE agent. Calling cops cocky mother effers is a bad look, especially with police under attack in America. But it's his right to do it.
And it's going to be a #1 song.
Well, why don't we survey the Andy Chan holiday block party and ask all those cops when we're there having beers next year? Yeah, I come after everybody on this show. I took out Pam Bondi and Zach Bryan, and we're not even halfway through the show.
We should just hit him up to donate to Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation. Then I'd shut up.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
When the market reaches all-time highs, investors who try to sell high are met with the same excuses from their broker. You're in it for the long haul. Stay the course. Don't sell now, you'll miss out on opportunity. But crash-proof consumers have not missed out on the recent market highs.
Kathleen Ralco from Langhorne, PA. I haven't missed out on growth opportunity this year. As a matter of fact, we've capitalized on it with crash-proof. With the crash-proof retirement system, we've gotten over 10% this year. The market can still go down, but I don't lose any of that money. And it's no fees charged to that. I'm getting the benefits of the stock market, but I don't have the downsides to it. It's not too good to be true. We're living proof of it. It works.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at the William Penn Inn on November 5th. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Bet3. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. TNC Supply.
Hey, this is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. I've been talking about myself for all these years. Now it's time for you to hear from one of our great clients.
Investor Schooling lives up to the promises. Larry's a great teacher, teaches about the whole new approach to thinking about money. I've taken to heart many of the things that he's taught me, and my financial life has improved.
Come to Investor Schooling, and you could be just like Charlie and change your financial life. Go to investorschooling.com. We will see you Thursday.
Free speech lives here with Don Stensland, 10 till noon on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
All right, there's a trailblazer, pioneer. That's what we're looking for today in honor of the great Christopher Columbus. It is Columbus Day, not Columbus/Indigenous Peoples Day, even though that nonsense continues. It's 855-839-1210. Tomorrow, I'll be on this, great detail, because I think it's important. When we had that attack on the residence of Josh Shapiro with his family there, this maniac, we've never gotten to the bottom of how the state police, and the damage is incredible, were unable to stop him and then unable to capture him. And he's going to be arraigned tomorrow. He faces 50 felony and misdemeanor charges, including attempted murder, aggravated arson, terrorism. And he told us, Cody Balmer, very clearly, and I think the girlfriend will call the police, he was doing this because of Gaza. Because what we were doing in Gaza and his hatred of Josh Shapiro as somebody who's Jewish. And yet, Shapiro has run away from that. He wants to scoop up, obviously, when you're under attack like that, you do get a bump, and that's right to do that, true. But then to downplay what the motivation was, what the left is all about. And the left is not happy today. The left is hoping we go back to war in Gaza. They're saying all kinds of wild things or not commenting. Like Christiana Amanpour. Well, you know, the people in Gaza had it rougher, when you look at it, to Caitlin Collins, than the hostages did. All right, so this has taken away some of the stuff that has propelled them forward and that this guy was acting on. Now, why Josh Shapiro? I told you, because I think this guy's more to the left, but his hatred of Shapiro as somebody who had spoken correctly at various times about Israel, about the attacks on college campuses, that's clearly what propelled him here to do this. So why would Josh Shapiro? Because Josh Shapiro is in a tough spot. He wants to be president. He's wanted to be president since kindergarten, and he has to run against a Democrat Party who has antagonism toward him simply because of his religion and because some of the stances he's taken, which are among the few that I agree with. That's why. So tomorrow it'll be interesting to see what kind of media coverage and what this guy says when being arraigned, and does everybody talk about what is actually behind this. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. You get on board. Henry, I want to play cut 10 here. Here is Benny Johnson, who was not at the rally. To this point, this continuing point about left-wing violence, where it's going, Charlie Kirk's birthday tomorrow being celebrated. You heard Heather. Here's Benny Johnson, who's arguably I don't know if he has the most social media, one form or another, of followers of right-wing influencers, but he's the one that gets all the big interviews. So that's why he is such a target, I guess. Here's what Johnson said. He couldn't attend the rally. Here's why.
He received this letter at my home. The letter described in great detail exactly how they were going to kill me, how I was going to die, and how they would orphan my children and widow my wife, just like they did to my friend exactly 1 month ago today, as we all watched a great man, a generational talent, and what I believe would have been a future president, Charlie Kirk, get shot and killed on a live stream. Approximately 1 year ago, Charlie, we watched President Trump take a bullet to the head. Members of the MAGA movement get killed there in front of their families. 2 months ago, we watched a church filled with praying children get shot up by a left-wing radical. A couple of weeks ago, we watched a left-wing radical shoot up an ICE facility. These are extremists, they say, Charles. But are they really that extreme? My argument is that they are now mainstream in the Democrat Party, and I can prove it. In your beloved state of Virginia, the Democrats in that state are nominating for the top law enforcement official a man who did exactly what was done to my family, criminally threatened to kill Republicans, to slaughter their children, simply because they are Republican. They called him little fascist. This man's name is Jay Jones, and he's running for the attorney general position in Virginia right now. Will any Democrat have the bravery to say, we denounce political violence so much that we're going to call for him to drop out? That's exactly what you should do if you are a moral party and if you care about the lives of American children. And so the gauntlet has been thrown down today, and I'm just profoundly thankful for the Trump administration for locking up one of these psychotic and dangerous left-wing radicals.
Well, forget a moral party if you...
All right, that's what we need more of. You know, you don't get to go around making death threats. You just don't. You're going to be brought in around that, and then we're going to see what kind of case can be made there. That's the bottom line here. You don't get to make death threats, particularly this explicit and playing off this and, oh, I'm just deranged. No. So he couldn't attend the rally, obviously, coming around this. This is the stakes. This is where we are. All right, side question today. Hit us with an all-time pioneer, trailblazer. Columbus has got to be in the top 2 or 3. Let's go to Alan in Hamilton, New Jersey. Alan, what do you have today?
This man's going to be in Philadelphia Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
The leader of the Solidarity movement in Poland was Lech Wałęsa. And he was a working class man, like all the rest of us in that country at this time. And yet he led the strikes that by 1988 finally overthrew communism and put in the kind of government that they wanted, like Kirk is doing here. So I think Lech Wałęsa.
Well, I'm on the trail of Lech Wałęsa, just so that guy knows it, to get him in studio here. I've been working for about a week on this. You're right. He's coming to Philadelphia, and people that forget, and Ronald Reagan showed the greatness of Reagan. He helped in any way he could, and you're right, that shipyard stuff helped to inspire the fall of the Soviet Union over the course of time.
Well, then I guess I was right.
You got it. Thank you. Yeah, we hope to have him. I don't know about in studio or not, but, I'm thinking of the most dangerous guest, Henry, and this is back in the old station a few stops ago when it was Adam Bauer. And we had the guy, and he has a strange name, that I became friendly with that heads up Holland now, the Dutch. He had his own security. I just saw a lot of Uzis that were around as he came walking to the 8th floor that day, the drapes drawn and all the rest of it. What's his last name? Weerders.
I'm not going to say the same person you're going to say. You said he's the prime minister of the Netherlands?
I think he's the prime minister now, yeah.
It's not.
Okay.
What a name. It's not Dick Schoof, is it?
No, it's not Dick Schoof. No. He was, and he lived on an army base. It was that severe. This is around the time when one of these maniacs stabbed a relative of Van Gogh in the chest with a knife with a letter on it, admitting to it and saying where we would be and why he did it. I mean, It just reminds me of this Cody Belmar guy scaling the wall and attacking Josh Shapiro. And you heard Benny Johnson, this is what we're seeing. And the guy in Virginia, they're not going to back away. They're going to gut it out to the finish line and allow this guy to be the Democrat Party nominee. It doesn't get any worse than the stuff that he said. All right, more calls coming up. Scott Presler here today at 2 o'clock. We'll talk with him not only about the rally, the latest registration numbers, but tomorrow where he'll be over there in Doylestown honoring Charlie Kirk's birthday. You can get a free T-shirt, etc. Meet Scott. Just fabulous having him and Jack Chettarelli together for a half hour on Friday at Mulligan's. Has anybody identified the guy dropping that perfect pass from Henry yet? I didn't look at my Twitter, so I don't
did.
know.
I'm keeping an eye on it.
No, nobody's identified
nope,
yet.
So far,
maybe
no.
that man will call in and admit what the reason was. I'll have to take a look during the break, see if I can identify him. 855-839-1210.
Whether you're saving for a wedding or a down payment on your first home, grow your savings with certificates and IRAs from American Heritage Credit Union. Enjoy high earnings averages and flexible terms like 3.90% annual percentage yield APY with a 9 or 12-month certificate or IRA. Your nest egg, your future, your American Heritage. Visit AmericanHeritageCU.org/certificates to start saving today. Insured by NCUA. Additional insurance provided by Excess Share Insurance. Not a member? Join today.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Viant, innovating digital advertising. Didn't think you could advertise on the largest sport platforms? Think again. Viant helps brands show up where it counts, on live sports, where audiences are the most engaged. It's simple, smart, and built for results you can actually measure. No wasted time, no wasted spend. Viant. Visit ViantCTV.com and get your message in front of the right audience today.
Dawn Stensland here. Kick off your fall on a high note. You still have time to find yourself that new certified or pre-owned vehicle from my friends at the Piazza Auto Group. Did you know Piazza carries more than 1,600 pre-owned vehicles at any given time? And not just the brands you've heard me mention like Honda, Acura, Mazda, Hyundai, and Volkswagen, but almost any other brand you can imagine. Now that's selection. Visit PiazzaAutogroup.com, search Piazza's pre-owned inventory, or for a dealer nearest you. Make sure you tell them Dawn sent you.
At PGW, safety is essential to delivering clean, reliable natural gas to Philadelphia homes and businesses. If you smell gas, call PGW at 215-235-1212.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly. This service is available based on Medicaid eligibility. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782. That's 267-692-3782. To get started today, you get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
Weather sponsored by Reynolds Restoration Services.
Cloudy, windy, and showers all day today with a high getting up to about 58 degrees. Cloudy tonight with a low getting down to about 55. More clouds moving in tomorrow with a high getting up to about 67, almost up to 70 degrees.
When disaster strikes, respond and rebuild with care with Reynolds Restoration. Reynolds provides 24/7 emergency response for fire, flood, storm damage, and more, restoring homes and businesses to their pre-loss condition. Remember Reynolds at reynoldsrestoration.com.
Now back to the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
This is Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
All right, Dom Giordano show. So, boy, difficult situation and more details needed. But we have a female security guard charged with murder by Larry Krasner for firing her weapon at a homeless person in an IHOP in Center City, Philadelphia, and killing him. Apparently, according to the report, the guy had been difficult. They got him, getting him out of there. He turned and spat on her. And as a result, she fired. Now, the only thing I'll say at this point to female about this is that this may be the correct charge, but it underlines any number of things that Larry Krasner downplays. Yet on this one, he likes the narrative, and I believe it's first-degree murder that he's charged. It says murder in the commentary at NBC 10. So be expecting to hear this. And again, dealing in Center City, Philadelphia, to have a business with a homeless situation and people hanging out and the difficulties. Is it any wonder that the Wawas of the world are moving on? I realize all the foot traffic you have, all the people going by, it's got to be alluring to have a business in downtown Philadelphia. But the downside is that it's kind of limited of what is going to happen here as far as disturbance and difficulty, not just with the homeless, but with ample numbers of people. Shoplifting still an issue. So in this case, Krasner is charged murder. We got to see more details on this. My only point is that may be correct, even though spat on, gunning this guy down in that situation. But how often do we see violence like this where he likes the narrative more and ultimately he knocks the charges down? Now this isn't a cop. It's not law enforcement. It's a security guard. But still, I wonder about first-degree murder here. That seems to be the charge. Remember Officer Dial? Remember that he tried to do the same thing there and what happened? More details as this case develops, but it's in play. All right, Scott Presler here at 2 o'clock, though. We'll talk to him about what happens tomorrow. Great piece by the guy that writes the 1600 over at Newsweek, saying that, look, these people that are calling this not a diplomatic coup, Trump getting the hostages out, and more on the way as far as making a peace of sorts in the Middle East, you're going to hear them say a lot, it's only a ceasefire at this point. Well, technically, that's the case, but it appears to be a new day here in that Trump has marshaled both the Israelis to come along and also various Arab nations to abandon Hamas, and that's why they're doing it. So, Joe from Columbus on Twitter, you can follow Henry's Pass there, says that the person dropping the passport's a draft better than catching a Hail Mary. But he's our guy through thick and thin. I realize that may have been a difficult catch there. Looked a little bit high to me. Now, Kirk says, no, it was right in the chest. Looks a little bit high, Henry.
I mean, 40 yards downfield. I mean, I'm sorry, I can't drop her in the bucket for you.
I'm defending this one. It's my guy. I'm defending him. Don't go after him on Twitter. We may have to do something else there. We have to throw him a few more balls so we can show him catching some. That's what I will do. I throw a softer pass. He'll be able to.
There you go. Oh, with that Bridgestone, there's no opportunity to throw a softer pass. It's frozen ropes only.
All right, so it's 855-839-1210. Got to come the next time we're at Mulligan's. There is nothing like it in all my career, talk radio. And his wife, we're talking already the design for the next summer underway. What should the design be for 2026 for the summer White House? This was the fall White House. All right. Let's go to David in Lexington, South Carolina. Hello, David.
Hey, Don. How y'all doing?
Good. Good, David.
You know, I saw the videos Friday and everything, and Joe from Columbus had some great pictures and videos as well. And, man, you have no idea. I'm not blowing smoke. I really wish it made me want to be there so bad. I was so wishing I could be up there. I was there in spirit, but I wish I could have physically been there.
Yeah, and as I
just
said,
like
David,
a great time.
Not only was the crowd really big, and the Ave Maria will play in a moment, and Scott Presler and the speakers, but it was younger, and there was much more spirituality.
Right.
The Kirk influence was there. I mean, this is a rally essentially for a governor's race on paper. That was the political point. But it morphed into most speakers really didn't speak to that. They spoke to the broader Charlie Kirk message. And when they unveiled the artist rendering of Charlie Kirk, the new thing, it was mind-boggling.
Yeah, I saw some of that video. It was amazing. Just like I said, made me wish I could be there. And, you know, one thing that could help me be there is kind of my side answer. The only thing shorter than these passes on Friday was the first flight by the Wright brothers, who are great innovators.
Yeah, imagine saying, all right, we're ready. Let's go off the side of the thing and see if this plane flies.
Oh, gosh.
That is brave. So that's bravery. But Columbus taking these small ships and saying, let's see about that. You'll fall off the ends of the earth.
Right. So that's my answer today. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Kyrie Irving, who plays now with Dallas still. Is he still with Dallas?
Yeah, rehabbing that
Achilles. He believes he doesn't like to fly because you'll fly off the end of the earth. And they let him into Duke. Why not? Can you see? Oh, that's okay.
Well, he's a thinker, can't you tell?
He's a thinker. He's controversial. How do you know that's not so?
Jersey kid.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. All right, Robert in Ben Salem, Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Robert.
Hey, Dom, Henry. It's good to talk to you guys, and happy Columbus Day.
Thank you. Same to you.
And I just real quick on Columbus. I really feel bad for his legacy because he caught a bad rap. He was blamed for what the conquistadors did. When he was over here, there were times when he kept the sailors on the ships because they wouldn't stop messing with the natives. So he wasn't like history or today's historians are making him out to be. He was an explorer. And, Dom, Italians in general were explorers. They weren't colonizers. That was the British, that was the Spanish and the Portuguese. There really was no need for them to do things like that. And it's just a shame because he was such a great person and a brave person and a pioneer that these simpletons today are breaking it down and blaming him for things he never did, man, you know?
Yeah, I think that is pretty accurate. You're right. There is a big difference there of what he was about versus some of these others. Yeah. But, Robert, that they have to do it because it's all about the country, too, you know, the founding of the country and everything else. They don't like that, so they're going to go after Columbus.
Good. Well, good. They can keep losing, Dom. That's the way I see it.
Yep.
But for your side question, you're talking about trailblazers and pioneers, and there's a slight differentiation there. There are a lot of great scientists who did things because they were needed, like Eli Whitney and the cotton gin and steel for the railroads. There was a need for what they were doing, and they were brilliant people. But the true visionary is somebody who worked on things that people were not asking for. Way back when, I don't want to step on any answers, but nobody was asking for submarines and helicopters. But you had people designing things like that who were way ahead of their times. And since my answer along those lines is taken, and I actually hope it wins, I'm going to go with Tesla. Because nobody was asking for a remote control in 1898, yet he demonstrated one on a pond in Central Park with a boat. I mean, the guy was just Edison was a great inventor,
right?
But Tesla was a pure visionary, and so I'm going to go with Tesla for my answer.
As much, Robert, as I usually defend Edison, the remote control guy. Oh man, just imagine where I'd be without the remote control. Oh.
Where you and everyone on this planet.
Yes.
where guys in general would be. I mean,
yes.
What would replace Where's the Remote, you know?
Thank you, Robert. All-time great call as usual. All right, here are the phone lines. 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All that you have to do is just push pound 1210. Coming up, coming up, No King's Day. When we were there at the rally, they were flying the plane over the beaches, alerting us, hey, you guys are having your day here at the rally. Ours is going to be No King's Day this Saturday. I'll break down who's behind this. And here we go again with the Trump derangement syndrome, and many of them will be in the suburbs. I'm going to ask you, well, your suburb, do you think, like Haverford? They're the resistance. They have it. Doylestown, we know. What suburbs are going to be prominent, the turnout of the indivisibles and all that stuff on No King's Day? All straight ahead at 855-839-1210. Hey, are you feeling run down? Skip the quick fixes that wear off fast. Fuel your day the natural way with Rescue Orosine. This unique supplement works at the cellular level to help your body produce steady, lasting energy so you can power through work, family, and whatever life brings. Plus, it supports a healthy heart and blood pressure, giving you daily support to feel your best. Right now, you can get a special buy one, get one free deal. Just use the code MyEnergy when you order Rescue Orosine today. Call 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Speak with a friendly rescue product consultant or visit res-q.com. Enter that code MyEnergy at checkout. So don't miss out. Double up your daily energy support with this limited time offer. Rescue Orosine, lasting energy naturally. Get it now at res-q.com.
Hi, friends. This is Kathy Barnett. On October 25th, we're bringing the Seed and Roots Summit to Philadelphia, talking about faith, family, and the future of work in America. CEOs, Heritage Foundation, pastors, even voices you don't expect, like Killer Mike, 3-time Grammy winner, will be in the room discussing our kids, our jobs, and our country. Seats are going fast, and October 25th is right around the corner. Get your ticket at kathybarnett.com, kathybarnett.com. Be in the room where it happens.
It's the perfect time to get inside a new Toyota at Tri-County Toyota. Right now, lease a new 2025 RAV4 LE all-wheel drive for just $309 a month for 36 months. Or buy and get 4.75% financing for 60 months. Or check out a new 2025 Tacoma 4-wheel drive double cab SR5 and lease for $239 a month for 36 months. Or get rates as low as 2.99% for 48 months. Visit us online at TriCountyToyota.com to see more.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
The nor'easter that struck Jersey yesterday is relenting, but high tides still bring risks of flooding through this afternoon. The new list of cities that President Trump wants to send the National Guard to does not include Philadelphia. And New Jersey Transit is debuting new systems to stop fare evaders, including 8-foot-tall platform gates at Newark Airport.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more. It's that time of year again to replace your old drafty windows and doors. If this sounds like something on your to-do list, then turn to my good friends at Guida Door and Window. Guida will help you save big this fall with their buy one, get one half off sale on all qualifying windows and doors. For every door and window you buy, you get a second one at 50% off. And you can mix and match these savings to suit your own needs. Buy an entry door, get half off a storm door. Buy a patio door, get 50% off a window. Need to replace all the windows and doors in your house? Then you'll save 50% on half your project. The more you need, the more you save. Plus, start your project with no money down and take 18 months to pay it off with no interest. Offers for a limited time only and restrictions apply. So call Guida today to schedule a free, no-obligation in-home estimate at 877-GO-GUIDA or visit them at GoGuida.com. That's go, GUIDA.com.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-536-9607. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-536-9607 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-536-9607 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-536-9607.
Now, you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, Dom Giordano Show. Welcome in. A little bit more on this shooting of the homeless man at an IHOP. NBC 10 says her bail was denied and preliminary hearing scheduled October 27th. Arrested, charged with murder, possession of an instrument of crime with intent of recklessly endangering another person. I think that's murder in the first degree. He was causing a disturbance. As he was being escorted out by security guards, he turned and spat at one of the guards as 39-year-old Yaria Melendez, then took out her gun and opened fire. All right, so again, I'll give you more details once I see more reports on this. And again, if it is like this, yeah, I get it. But Krasner is completely uneven in his treatment of issues like this. Okay, so it's side question, all-time pioneer, all-time trailblazer of any sort in any way today on Columbus Day. Richard in Lansdale, Talk Radio 1210. Hi, Richard.
Hi, Dom. Just want to remind all your vast left-wing listeners that tomorrow is the birthday of another great American hero, St. George Floyd of Minneapolis.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. Well, that situation, of course, yeah, I know where you're going with it. And it'll be interesting tomorrow to see how much coverage there is of that versus Charlie Kirk's birthday. Thank you, Richard. Look, I'm not going to open fire today or, so to speak, around the George Floyd thing. I get it. I get the track record here, what happened that summer, how it played out, without a doubt. But tomorrow, we're focused in on Charlie Kirk, and you have a chance to meet Scott, registered people to vote over in Doylestown. He's up next. He'll lay that out. And the Freedom shirt, I got mine thanks to Kirk and one I got backstage. I'll be wearing that tomorrow as a memory of this. Certainly at the rally, there was a lot connected to this. Zenos in Upper Darby. Hi, Zenos.
Good afternoon, Dom. I'd like to comment a little bit about these Chinese people buying stuff here.
Sure.
These are communists, and they shouldn't be buying stuff because if you or I, you went, like say you went to Europe and you wanted to buy property in Italy or something, you cannot. I can because I have a dual citizenship. Mm-hmm. But these people should not be here buying property. You can't buy property in China. So they should not be. They should be exempt from buying stuff here.
Well,
that is my opinion.
I would agree with that. And again, the Trump administration has to tighten up on this, and we need more. This is just another example, day to day to day, the nonsense that they engage in at any level, at any time.
Exactly, and the president was talking about that. So I'm sure he's, his mind is always working. President Trump's mind. He's going to put a stop to that. They should not be buying anything over here. Now, my person for today, Dom, I'd have to say there's got to be 4 of them, if you can, to lump them into one. It's Ronald Reagan, Margaret Thatcher, Pope John, and Lech Walesa. They were the arbiters of the breakdown of communism in Europe. It's a shame it didn't go further into China. But if you can, or break,
sure.
I'm not breaking the rules.
I would accept that. No, I would accept that, Zenos. Thank you, because the first thing is you have to believe. I don't know that I believed it was possible. Did you? That the Soviet Union would fall? Reagan did. And he got him into a spending frenzy they couldn't deal with, was one of the reasons why, with Star Wars, so-called Star Wars. The Pope, he's right. Thatcher, what an ally. And Lech Walesa, who lit the match there. That's what it took. All right, Henry, this will be cut, let's see. This will be cut 4. Here is youtube.com/1210. You got to see this. This is later in the rally. I'm not sure if it was at the close per se or not, because there was a lot of stuff going on. Here is the crowd on Friday night, and it had to be after 8:30-ish or so, singing Ave Maria at the Wildwoods, New Jersey rally, America First rally. All right, that's a little bit of the flavor of what this was about. As I said, there was a lot of spirituality, but the guy, I'm a little bit biased, that I thought was just an incredible rally and speech is next. Scott Presler, about marching on Trenton and turning this around. He's next. We got Dom's Money Melody today. I'm sure it's something.
It's everything you expect and more.
There we go. All right, be ready for that. What do we have as a prize here? We have a pair of tickets to see the great Joe Conklin with the City Rhythm Orchestra. All that unfolds in a big 2 o'clock hour on Talk Radio 1210.
Deborah Heart and Lung Center and Cleveland Clinic Heart Vascular and Thoracic Institute have formed a powerful alliance. Legends in caregiving New Jersey families, the most sophisticated heart team in America. Innovators in research and patient care who've made life better for thousands of patients, raising the standard for the next generation of care. The alliance between Deborah Heart and Lung Center and Cleveland Clinic Heart Vascular and Thoracic Institute means the highest quality care close to home for you. DemandDeborah.org.
The talks that formed modern democracy took place in Philadelphia 250 years ago. Now, talks about the future of our democracy are taking place here once again. Visit Philadelphia is proud to host the TED Democracy Speaker Series, a powerful exploration of how we can build a society where everyone has access to education, economic mobility, safety, and dignity. Taking place October 14th at the Penn Museum in University City. Register for this free event today at visitphilly.com/TED.
The holidays are coming. Make your dining room the star with Bucks County Estate Traders. Save 20% on dining essentials. Everything you need to gather in style. Experienced staff will greet and guide you through nearly 20,000 unique items in their massive showroom, or navigate at your own pace using QR codes on every piece for instant details. Shop online with code DINING25 at buckscountyestatetraders.com or visit the Hatfield showroom. Open 7 days a week. Now through the 15th. Some exclusions apply.
For more expert appliance shopping advice, here's National Appliance Warehouse's own appliance guru.
Hello. Today's cutting-edge appliances are technologically advanced with many features designed to make life easier. To ensure the appliances you choose accomplish that, it's important to compare and explore a variety of options at once. That's why at National Appliance Warehouse, we created an incredible showroom for customers to do just that. 6 times the size of an average chain store, our showroom is large enough to display the over 100 brands we sell. And I'm not the only guru. Our whole team of friendly professionals not only answer questions, but suggest questions to ask so that you end up with the perfect appliances for you.
It's time to fall into savings at National Appliance Warehouse. There's still time to enjoy huge savings on GE appliances. Save up to 35% on select GE appliances. Browse an unmatched collection of GE, Cafe, GE Profile, and Monogram appliances. Click nationalappliancewarehouse.com or visit their showroom in tax-free Wilmington today.
Hi, I'm Joe Mederchik, PNC Bank Regional President. As presenting sponsor of the Eagles Radio Network, PNC Bank loves an exciting game. But we also think a little boring can go a long way. You see, boring banking means you're doing the right things. That is why PNC leaves a third and long to the professionals. Reliable fiscal strategies are more in our zone anyway. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
All right, it is Dom time. And again, the highlight for me on Friday was Jack Chettarelli sitting there with Scott Presler at Mulligan's. I know Johnny told me the same thing. It was quite a synergy, and you could tell that Jack recognized the importance of what Scott is doing to turn New Jersey red. Let's go to Scott Presler here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Scott, Henry told me he identified himself, and you were immediately into voter registration mode and saying, are you registered to vote? Consistent.
Yeah, he said where he lives, and of course, I mean, you can't tell me where you live and not expect me to say, are you registered to vote at your current address? So I'm glad I was very on brand.
That is the brand, but you were also on brand at the rally. For listeners who didn't see it, and we've put it up and talked about it, what was your message at the rally? What did you tap into?
Well, I want people to know that I made special time to be there at Mulligan's. I was up at 4 o'clock a.m. I went to the Vegas diner at 6:30 with Steve Ducey with Fox and Friends. Then I did a hit with Benny Johnson. And then somehow I was still awake, and I was like, okay, I got to go over to Mulligan's and see Dom Giordano. And my main message is I want people to know we can win. My main message for New Jersey is you have the power, you have the ability, you can win this November. It's all turnout. And the number one message that I wanted to bring to the voters is that we had the 2021 election decided by 84,000 votes. 84,000 votes. And we had 600,000 Republicans that stayed home in 2021. So my people in New Jersey, do not allow a repeat of 2021. You get out, you call everyone you know, you text everyone you know, help us knock on doors, help us spend the next 22 days talking to every person that we can, because you can win this election. I promise you.
That is the major message, Scott. That's very astute, because there are people still in Jersey who don't believe that it's blue. And it may be overall in certain pockets, but in this race, Chettarelli has tapped into it. You and the other people you brought there, Jack, Benny Johnson couldn't be there because of the threats to him, have really helped to mobilize this. It's right there. And all you have to do, they have early voting. You don't have to wait till Election Day.
No, October 25th is the first day of early in-person voting. October 25th until November 2nd, you have 9 full, big, beautiful days that you can vote early in person for Jack. And I really encourage people to lock in your vote. November 4th, not a lot of people are thinking about it. Life happens. A lot of our people are working class. You're a pilot, doctor, healthcare professional, mom, dad. You might be doing something that takes you out of your precinct on Tuesday, November 4th. Please don't allow that to happen. I beg you. Vote on day 1 of October 25th, in-person voting. And if we show huge numbers, it's going to inspire other people to believe that we can win. And the reason why I say this is I looked at 2016. 2016, Hillary Clinton got a lot of people to vote early in Ohio and in Florida. And the Democrat numbers of early voting were so big that a lot of people thought that Hillary was going to win because of the early vote. And that narrow victory could have been a big popular vote victory like it was in 2024 had people believed we could win. So your voting early in person is going to inspire low propensity Republicans who may not think we can win to vote. That's why early voting really matters, and that's what we're trying to tap into.
Absolutely. Now, tomorrow, huge day, and that means Scott Presler will be in our area over in Doylestown. Of course, the anniversary of the birthday of Charlie Kirk. And you'll be loaded with merch, just like we were throwing out to the crowds. I don't know if you were throwing anything out, Scott, but what's happening tomorrow in Doylestown?
It is going to be a long but glorious day. So we are sending out text messages to registered Republicans in Bucks County. If you're listening right now, you're probably going to get a text message from me today. And we are encouraging every Bucks County resident, you come out and you vote in person early tomorrow. There are 3 different voting locations that you can vote. And a flyer is on my social media of those 3. There's one in Upper Bucks, Quakertown area. There's one in Middle Bucks, a.k.a. Doylestown. And there's one in Southern Bucks, I think in the Levitttown area, the government center.
Yes.
And so you guys, I know Bucks County is a big county. We're going to have staff members at all 3 locations outside the legal limit that we are required to be. I, in person, myself in the flesh, will be at the Doylestown Old Courthouse right off of 55 East in Doylestown, and I'll be there from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m.
Oh.
I am fully committed. I am ready to spend the entire day shaking hands, giving out freedom T-shirts to every person that wants one, giving out Charlie Kirk, I voted in honor of Charlie stickers to everyone that wants one. And we are also going to be door knocking in the local boroughs, getting Republicans out to vote. And I am asking people, do not let the tragedy, the assassination, what happened a month ago to go in vain. The way that we are going to respond, the world is going to watch us respond with positive action. That's
Absolutely.
how we respond.
And Scott, it was a rallying cry. I think you talked about it the other day when we were at Mulligan's, and I've talked about it a lot. When in Bucks County, Marseglia and her minions and Bob Harv, the Harv de Gras guy, shut down voting. And you mentioned they were wearing those stickers, official judge of voting or some cockamamie. Democrats trying to intimidate people who wanted to get a mail-in ballot, vote, and hand it in right there. That's what we're talking about you can do.
Well, I'll tell you right now, we're prepared. If any Democrats are listening to this broadcast right now, you try a shenanigan tomorrow. I've got lawyers on the ground. I've got lawyers all across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and we have an army of people armed with cell phones. And with my platform of 2.4 million and growing, You cause a shenanigan, you cause trouble, I promise you right now, you will be recorded. We are going to post it everywhere. I'm going to send it to my army of attorneys. I'm going to send it to the RNC. I'm going to get it everywhere. And remember, Democrats, we sued your behinds last year, and we won. And your shenanigans gave us 3 extra days of early voting. And because of you, we won Bucks County for the first time since 1988 with 300 more votes. So to the Democrats, buyer beware. If your intent is to cause any problems tomorrow, you're only going to help galvanize more Republicans to vote. So I say peacefully, bring it on.
Absolutely. And Scott, tomorrow, is there a theme? Is it in Charlie's name? You have to vote this time. If not now, when? Is there anything else tomorrow in remembrance of Charlie Kirk, friend of yours? What else tomorrow will be happening?
Well, I'm asking people absolutely to vote in honor of Charlie Kirk. But really, this is for the people to decide. You have a sheriff election. Fred Herron, Harran. Fred Herron is a Republican running for re-election. Jen Shorn is a Republican running for district attorney. If you want Bucks County to elect a pro-illegal alien and anti-ICE sheriff, then don't vote. Allow the Democrats to win. If you want a pro-illegal alien, anti-ICE district attorney that won't prosecute crimes, then don't vote and allow the Democrats to win. This election very much is about safety and security. This election is making sure that Bucks County doesn't become Philadelphia. So if you want law and order, and if you want to protect people's lives in honor of Charlie, I need your vote. Fred Herron, Jen Shorn. You get out and vote. And, of course, no to retention. Oh, by the way, get this, Dom. Dom, get this. Governor Shapiro, if you're listening, I want to know, why are you spending your time making phone calls for justices that locked us down during COVID, and you're not on the phone courting and whipping votes to get a budget passed? What I say is, no budget, Governor Shapiro, no retention. No budget, no retention. And did you see Michigan Senator Slotkin, while our government is shut down, is in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania trying to get these locked down justices retained this November?
Exactly.
So if you want accountability, I need everybody to vote no to retention to Doherty, Donahue, and Wecht. I've been talking this for a year. Get out and vote no to retention. Flip over your ballot to fire your judges. Turn over your ballot to term limit your judges.
Scott, tomorrow, too, we hope to. Henry will, call you and see how it's going there. Once an hour. It's such a big day. You're right here locally. Just get your commentary on what's happening in Doylestown on this day. And I predict, due to what you're doing, your organization, we're going to see tremendous outpouring of people tomorrow. We're going to see those freedom shirts all over the place.
Well, and this is all across the 67 counties. So if you're listening right now from Philadelphia or anywhere across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I ask you, go in person to your county elections office and do an in-person, on-demand mail-in ballot. If you have any problems, email Scott@earlyvoteaction.com, SCOTT@earlyvoteaction.com, and put down a report. We will have a team following my email while I'm out in the field. Henry has permission to call me once an hour on the hour. I'll give you live updates. I'm going to have a video. Oh, no, trust me. When I'm locked into something, I'm locked in. I am like a dog on a frickin' bone. I'm not stopping for a second.
Well, I just hope Diane Marseglia comes down and takes a stroll by and says, bring it on.
Bless her heart. She's trying her best. Bless her heart.
All right, Scott, one more time. Where do people find you?
earlyvoteaction.com, and my social media is all at Scott Pressler. And I promise you, I'm driving to Bucks County right now, Dom, and I'm going to be knocking in Warrington and Warminster today in preparation for tomorrow. And we're not stopping for a gosh darn second. earlyvoteaction.com, earlyvoteaction.com.
Talk tomorrow. Godspeed. Thank you, Scott, very much.
Thank you.
All right, Scott Presler tomorrow, real treat. We'll get him, Henry will mix him in there as he comes to Doylestown on a very big day, right in the center of the action. And again, you can meet him. He's a public figure that's easy to see, to put it mildly. All right. And again, we really appreciate that he came over to Mulligan's in the middle of a day when he's in demand nationally. He and Jack Chettarelli there were unbelievable. Should have had Jack Chettarelli go out for a pass, though. I think he would have caught it from Henry. If he didn't, then Henry, come on now, Henry.
Oh, that would have been that video went blown up.
Yeah, we got a lob. We got a lob in it. You're the official designated thrower. The only thing is, we got to make sure people catch it. A lot of stick 'em.
Right. Yeah, a lot of stick 'em.
I want stick 'em where
like
their hands.
Like a deciding election right there.
That's right. Yeah,
Whether you catch it or drop it.
Yeah,
exactly
let's
right.
see what Mikey Sherrill would do. While I fly a helicopter. All right, 855-839-1210. You can get on board. Big, big day tomorrow. We'll take you right to the center of that. More of your calls coming up, but right now, for a great prize today, it is time for...
It's Dom's Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone?
That's right. We're playing for a pair of tickets to see Joe Conklin with the City Rhythm Orchestra. Philly Sports put to music Saturday, November 22nd at Cardinal O'Hara High School in Springfield, Pennsylvania, Delaware County. For tickets, visit joeconklin.com. All right, Henry, start the proceedings.
Yeah,
there.
Dom.
Yes.
So today we were asking on the side question for that all-time trailblazer and pioneer. So I thought I'd give you a trailblazer and pioneer in the rock and roll scene. Bill Haley and his Comets is largely considered to be the first rock band to popularize the rock and roll category with their song Rock Around the Clock, which really wasn't a hit at first until it was featured in the movie Blackboard Jungle in 1955. Then it rose to the top of the American charts for 8 weeks. Bill Haley and the Comets are, one of the first rock bands, like I said, inspiring people around the world to also continue with this genre. So I'm going to bring you a cover of Bill Haley and his Comets singing Rock Around the Clock. I want to know the country or language of origin in which this cover is being sang in. It should be noted about this cover artist in their home country, they are considered, you're gonna like this nickname, the God of Song. The God of Song is covering this Bill Haley and his Comet song. I want to know the language or the country in which the God of Song hails from.
All right, we're looking again, Henry, for...
the country or the language of origin in which this song is being covered by the God of Song.
And of course, and I had him on, Don McLean from Mulligan's once, not at Mulligan's, on the phone, American Pie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
great one.
That's who he's talking about.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's my sense. He's talking about them because they died in a plane crash, or some of them did, anyhow.
Rocking Around the Clock?
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Didn't realize the connotation of that song was so dark.
Yeah, but no, I mean, that's there was a plane crash.
Oh, well, yeah.
Paying homage.
Yeah,
That's
the day
what
the music
song's about.
died. The
That's
Big
it.
Bopper,
Yeah.
Buddy Holly, and Richie Valens.
Yes. All right, 855-839-1210. You can get on board. Hit us with that, and you're off to see Joe Conklin, either the language or the country. And coming up, a little bit more on the Biden people trying to take credit. President Trump has just invited Iran to join the peace efforts. I know that's hard to believe. That's wild. But Trump is pushing all buttons now to try to move this forward even more than what we've seen today. He's not relenting on this and saying, job done. Not by a long shot. All on Talk Radio 1210.
Hi, friends. This is Kathy Barnett. On October 25th, we're bringing the Seed and Roots Summit to Philadelphia, talking about faith, family, and the future of work in America. CEOs, Heritage Foundation, pastors, even voices you don't expect, like Killer Mike, 3-time Grammy winner, will be in the room discussing our kids, our jobs, and our country. Seats are going fast, and October 25th is right around the corner. Get your ticket at kathybarnett.com, kathybarnett.com. Be in the room where it happens.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly. This service is available based on Medicaid eligibility. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782. That's 267-692-3782. To get started today, you get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense against weather, so don't gamble with it. Hi, I'm Matt with Emmons Roofing and Siding, and at Emmons, we use only the best materials and expert craftsmanship to get your home protected. In fact, as an Owens Corning Platinum contractor, we can offer a lifetime warranty directly from Owens Corning on our workmanship. So whether your roof has storm damage, aging shingles, or it's just time for an upgrade, Emmons has you covered. Call us at 856-556-3229 or visit callemmons.com. From the main line to the shore, from top to bottom, inside and out, at Emmons, we have you covered.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel yet? Not yet. Do it today. Okay. At 1210 WPHT.
It's Dom's Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone?
Show me the money. That is right. All right, here's the clue. We're looking for the language or the country. All right, let's go to Joe in Westchester on Talk Radio 1210. See if we can get those tickets given away. Hey, Joe, what country or language?
Dom, I want to say India.
You're in the neighborhood.
All right, not bad. I don't know where I was laughing because I don't know. Lenny and Ridley. All right, we're in the neighborhood with India. What do you say, Lenny?
That came from, he's in Hong Kong. That would have been, Sam Hui is the name. I believe his speech, Mandarin, he would be singing in.
All right, I'll put you on hold,
Wow.
Lenny. Translate that a little bit. There's a little bit of fogginess there with Lenny. It is.
Yeah, so he not only, I was just going to accept Chinese, China or Cantonese, but he nailed it right down to the city. I mean, the god of song, Sam Hui, hails from Hong Kong, and this is this is Rock Around the Clock in Cantonese. It's something about Sam Hui. Yeah, he's considered the god of song over in China, and he was the first major superstar of Cantopop. So a trailblazer in his own right.
Gotcha. All right. 855-839-1210. You get in. We have a winner. Pair of tickets to see the great Joe Conklin. That's a wonderful night out. Thank you, Lenny. Tomorrow we'll do it all over again. We'll see what covers, what mysteries happen tomorrow. I don't know. Early voting day, Charlie Kirk birthday. Henry will come up with something. A fertile mind there on this. All right. We got the side question going on, but I wanted to play for you what's happened today in the major story. Of course, the release of the hostages. I've already told you Christiana Amanpour trying to say with Caitlin Collins on CNN. Well, Caitlin, the Gazans had it worse, you could argue. Really? Were they forced to dig their own graves, et cetera? I don't think so. And already we're seeing the major response. Now, the ladies on The View, to their credit, shockingly, they deemed it historic today. Then they went on to bashing Trump on other grounds. But here's President Trump reacting to the wildness. It's got to be difficult if you're Blinken, the guy who was Biden's chief negotiator in the Middle East, Secretary of State, yada, yada, yada. He pops up and he says, yeah, we put this all into play, and Trump piggybacked off of what the Biden deal was all along. Just one aside. One of the problems with the Bidens of the world and some of the, particularly that Biden group, though, they and Biden himself, these blowhards believe you have to have all of these so-called credentials in this whole thing versus the people who negotiated, particularly Trump behind it. His degree is in getting things done, in using leverage. And he mentioned several times today he's right. When Americans took out the Iranians who were saying, what are you going to do about it? We're going to build a nuclear facility here. In the manner that we did, it shook the Iranians and other parties. And Trump had some negotiators, Turkish, Qatar, a couple of other countries, Egypt, who were able to get in there and read to Hamas what the cards were telling them. It was over. They better sue for a deal now. And the hostages were more of a liability because, as bad as the rest of the world was on Israel, they were seeing this as some fig leaf that Israel had to attack. And they bought it. And then the detail, I am still stunned. At the 11th hour, I was still expecting Hamas to not do this, to delay, to do something else. But they did it. And now we have a ceasefire. Do we have an end to the war? Well, on paper, we do. And now we move forward to other aspects of this. And I don't think Trump is just going to turn away from this. He is going to try to build on this relentlessly to make the case this is what he's about. So here's Trump's reaction to Blinken jumping in today to say, this was the Biden plan, backhanded praise. While Trump built on it a little bit, he was able to execute it. But we had this in drawers, he said. We had this drawn up. We had it there. Why didn't you not get it done? Because of the people who you are, you stuffed shirts. There's no way they would ever do this with Biden, Blinken, Jake Sullivan, and all. Absolutely no way. They would only do it with Trump. I don't know what other president that I could tell you, because they would have done it if it were possible. I thought Clinton is pretty persuasive. When he had Arafat, you may remember there, the famous Camp David stuff. And they were giving Arafat 99% of what he wanted. He still wouldn't do it. What would Trump have done in that situation? Maybe something radically different. He wouldn't wring his hands. He'd get it done somehow or another. Here's what Trump said about Blinken.
Blinken says it's good that President Trump adopted and built on the plan that the Biden administration developed. What do you think about that?
Everybody knows it's a joke. Look, they did such a bad job. This should have never happened. This wouldn't have even happened. That was weak leadership, terrible. And the same thing with Russia, Ukraine. If just a decent president, not a great president like me, not a great president. If a decent president was in, you wouldn't have had the Russia-Ukraine. And this is, I would say, even more so. This was bad policy by Biden and by Obama. Remember when Bibi came and he begged that you not do what they were doing with Iran? You remember that, right? Begged them. And they wouldn't even listen to him. Everything they did was the opposite what you should have done. And it's nice that they try and take a little credit. That was years ago, and the mistakes were made years ago, and it was both by Biden and Obama.
All right, bringing Obama into this, too, who's been graceless in this, not giving any credit to Trump for what has happened here at all. Biden, no word from him, and Blinken saying, well, we had this plan. It's the exact same thing. We're the ones that got all these allies together. No, you didn't. They're only here together because of power, because of leverage. And then they use leverage on Hamas and say, hey, we're under the gun ourselves here with Trump, and we see the things that we may get out of this that will make us more prosperous and calm things down. We're not going to back you in this. This is not your moment. Now, that doesn't mean Hamas is going to go away. It means they'll reconstitute, who knows how much. But it means they've really been damaged. And shockingly, they've agreed for once. That's what's historic. So it's a ceasefire now. Then we'll look at the next steps. But the other side, trying to jump in and say that Joe Biden had this ready to go. It's preposterous. It is almost silly to say that. You understand, what else are they going to say? Trump did something different here. It was the Trump style, all the elements of that worked. That's what it is. That's what you have to recognize. And Trump is right, President Trump, to mention the bombing of Iran, taking out that nuclear facility. It really seems to have pushed the Iranians back. Now, are they still mortal enemies? Are they still the enemies of the world? Yes, we know all that. But can they cobble together a more peaceful atmosphere? Potentially. All right, I'm coming to your calls. Hit us with that all-time trailblazer, that all-time pioneer. Also coming up, the No Kings rally will be this October 18th. I'll give you some more detail on that. And again, you know the epicenter of this, it's white people in the suburbs. That's what you're seeing on this against Trump. Why is it not in the city? Why is it not diverse? Why are places like Haverford and Doylestown the capital of this? I wonder if Guy Shiraki is going to be writing about that. There's something about this that's very suburban, whatever they turn out, and the numbers will be exaggerated. That's this Saturday. All right, phone lines, 855-839-1210. Now, I'll know where I'll be on Saturday, where a lot of people are going to get great information. Most home sellers are being lied to by the people they trust, and it's costing them a fortune. Diane Giordano-Casaccio, my great friend and advisor in real estate and all matters like that, you know, over the years with Diane, I don't know how many years we've been together on this, has sold thousands of homes and has identified the 10 biggest myths that are not just bad advice. They'll drain $50, $75, even $100,000 from your bottom line. She's hosting a free breakfast seminar for home sellers Saturday, October 18th at 9 a.m. This coming Saturday. So join me and Diane in Fort Washington. It's a great breakfast also. She'll reveal the truth about pricing, staging, photography, and the one biggest mistake that forces homes to stay on the market for month after month, costing you thousands. All attendees will get a copy of Diane's newest book, Model Home Mindset. So join Diane and me October 18th. RSVP, it's free. Just want to know who's coming, all that stuff. 215-576-8666 or online 215-576-8666.com.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Out here in the middle of these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on Earth. That's how it feels when you're struggling with your mental health. But you don't have to feel alone. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-384-9393. That's 800-384-9393.
Who would have thought that finding a Medicare partner you can trust could feel this good? Partnering with HealthSpring means you get Medicare Advantage plans with the benefits you need. Get up to $1,620 back in your Social Security check each year. Want dental, vision, and hearing services? Of course. HealthSpring Medicare Advantage plans mean financial peace of mind and freedom to enjoy life your way. Connect with a local licensed insurance agent for HealthSpring. It'll put a spring in your step. Visit healthspringmedicare.com/radio. That's healthspringmedicare.com/radio. Benefit options vary by plan and service area. You must reside in the plan service area. HealthSpring will reduce your monthly Part B premium based on the plan's specific benefit amount. HealthSpring products and services are provided exclusively by or through operating subsidiaries of Healthcare Service Corporation, a mutual legal reserve company.
Hey, this is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. How many times are you going to listen to my voice before you finally go to investorschooling.com? I can't believe you haven't signed up for a class yet. You're going to learn real estate investing. You're going to learn stock options trading. You're going to learn things about money that you didn't even know existed. Go to investorschooling.com right now. Oh my goodness. This Thursday, investorschooling.com, and take that free class. See you there.
Inflation, interest rates, and the Fed. How to make sense of it all? Join Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Saturdays at 5 p.m. and Sundays at 9 a.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
As you go through your end-of-season to-dos, add Call Horizon Cooling and Heating to the checklist. You wouldn't send your kids to school unprepared, so don't send your air conditioner into hibernation without a checkup from our specialists. If you've noticed your system struggling, weird sounds, smells, or changes in airflow, let's fix it now. Right now, install a new HVAC system and get up to $1,150 in rebates and 0% interest financing. Book today, and help is on the way. HorizonServices.com.
Weather sponsored by the Piazza Auto Group.
Cloudy, windy, and showers all day today with a high getting up to about 58 degrees. Cloudy tonight with a low getting down to about 55. More clouds moving in tomorrow with a high getting up to about 67, almost up to 70 degrees.
Explore the diverse Volkswagen lineup featuring SUVs, sedans, compacts, and electric vehicles at Piazza Volkswagen of Langhorne and Ardmore. Visit piazzavw.com to browse inventory and schedule a test drive.
Broadcasting live from the Piazza Auto Group studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Arguably my favorite song of all time, as everybody knows. Of course, I have eclectic taste, so Eminem's in there too. And Eminem is saying the same thing that Sinatra just said. The music, the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, Sinatra saying my way, Eminem saying the music, the moment.
Both trailblazers of music.
There you go. Absolutely. How about that as a duet?
That. Yeah.
Eminem and Sinatra. I think Sinatra might be tough to say you're going on with Eminem.
Exactly right.
Yeah. All right. So 855-839-1210. Sadly, seeing this reported by Fox, a convoy of coffins in Gaza or in the area returning some of the bodies of people who were attacked and killed on October 7th. And again, it is remarkable, the people that survived this, and we'll hear more in coming days, the savagery of that attack, 2 years of this, digging your own grave every other day, it seems like in some of the reports. Just stunning, the achievement. But the other side says no. This Saturday, and let's face it, the Democrats are stalling to settle this shutdown because of one thing. They want the no kings thing. They want the hurrah. Then they'll let Sunday pass. You'll see by, let's say, a week from tomorrow, serious negotiations. And maybe by Wednesday, a week from this Wednesday, you'll see some kind of tentative agreement put into play around the shutdown. That's what they're waiting for. That's what this is about. They think this will be their biggest ever, the No Kings rallies. And I'm looking at some of the websites and where these places will be, and they're centered on the usual suspects. Remember, we talked about Doylestown, of course. But we talked about Haverford. Their signs there are not saying anything about a policy or support. They're saying resistance. They're in the suburbs. What are they resisting? This is where it is morphed. This is where it's changed. And Guy Shiraki, last time I talked with him, made the point he believes now it's not even just liberalism in the suburbs. It's morphed beyond that. That used to be the cover. They seem moderately liberal, all that. Houlihan's an example. They're getting worse all the time because the suburbs, somehow or another, have accelerated in that manner with progressives running it. You take a look at the state level, this guy, Matt Bradford, he's just a representative from Montgomery County. He calls the tune on the governor on what to do in the shutdown and things related to it. They're attacking Stacey Garrity's plan to say, you got to fund these rape crisis centers. We'll give them at 4.5% interest, and they'll pay us back when they get the money, when the state thing is over. And in the state Senate, they're saying we'll put in legislation where there won't be interest on it. And they're going against that. They think they can just force Republicans to settle on this stuff. They're the ones causing the pain. They want pain. And that's what this No Kings nonsense will be about. You'll see it all over the place. But mainly, I think it's the same people that would protest in front of Tesla. Many times, these are pretty well-heeled suburbs. They're not the poorer suburbs. You know, the Radners of the world or the Doylestown's. I'm not saying everybody's affluent, but these are areas that have relative middle to upper middle class lifestyles. Why are they the shock? It's the unending question to me, and you're going to see it play out this Saturday. But as for today, this is not only an historic day, it's a one of a kind. I mentioned even Bill Clinton. I don't think Clinton could get done what Trump did, and he's very persuasive. It's beyond that. And so much of it Trump revealed today. I'm not going to play you again when there were people revolting there, and he talked about, hey, that was very efficient, how you took them out. But, Henry, this is cut 18. It's short, cut 18. Here's Trump saying publicly, you know, Netanyahu's not the easiest guy in the world to make a deal with, cut 18.
Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah.
Here. Sorry.
That Netanyahu was there. This was in the Knesset as he was talking in his speech, making the point that, yeah, Netanyahu ultimately came along with this. All right? Okay. All right.
Sorry about this.
All right. Yeah. All right. Let's go to some callers. Let's go to Don in Franconia on Talk Radio 1210. Hello, Don. Welcome in.
Hello. Thank you, Don, for taking my call. Do you know you have a thief working with you in Henry? He stole my answer.
Okay. Okay.
I was born and raised in the same city as Johnny Appleseed, a.k.a. John Chapman was his real name.
Right.
But I'm pretty old, but I never knew him. He preceded me by many years. But,
who's yours,
however, my guest for today is somebody that made your life much better, Rush Limbaugh.
Absolutely. The breakthrough there, and Philadelphia was the last city to embrace Rush, the last city out of the top 20 markets to put on Rush because this was seen as so local. And it was such a hit early on. We literally went to, if you remember, seafood shanties. There had to be a dozen of them around the area. People sidled up for we had the local host there, and they came and had seafood and sat there for 3 hours or most of it listening to Rush Limbaugh. That's unbelievable. It was a seafood shanty pilgrimage across the area. All right. It's the lightning round next. 855. Do you have that? Yeah, okay. Here is President Trump, then the lightning round, talking about Netanyahu.
And he is not easy, I want to tell you. He's not the easiest guy to deal with. But that's what makes him great. That's what makes him great. Thank you very much, baby. Great job.
That's how Trump knows exactly how to play this. He said, hey, let him go in the corruption or something. Well, that was a little over the top today, but saying that he is tough on these things, but rational, and he made it happen. That's exactly the type of setup you want to have for Netanyahu in Israel. Because this is difficult for him. Who knows how it comes out politically here. But the story of the day is just a few Democrats, some of the women on The View, saying, come on now, you got to praise this. We'll see what happens on the big picture. This is something you have to believe could happen to make it happen, and it takes a unique set of skills. And I'm sure Witkoff and Jared Kushner did a good job here, but it comes back to Trump and his direction. All right, lightning round next. Let's get a winner. 855-839-1210.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. You've heard me talk about Chapman Windows, Doors, and Siding, how much I love the work they've done in my home. You already know by now if I needed windows, doors, or siding, I'd only trust the Chapman team. But you may not know Chapman also does roofs. That's right. The same trusted family-owned company that has been serving our community for more than 30 years can replace your roof, too. And they do exceptional work. It just makes sense to have one expert team handle your entire exterior, your roof, siding, windows, doors, all working together beautifully and built to last. The Chapman team truly cares. They take the time to listen, explain your options, deliver high-quality craftsmanship with every detail. That's the Chapman difference. And with financing available, your home improvement project can be easier and more affordable than you think. So if you or somebody you know needs a new roof, windows, doors, siding, or shutters, call. You can text 610-431-8898, ChapmanWindowsDoors.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now, there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location. Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co., LLC. Used with permission.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Now you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
All right, that's it. It is the lightning round today, Columbus Day. Hit us with that all-time trailblazer, that all-time pioneer. Get your name into the hat. In addition to that, tomorrow, you heard Scott Presler with us. Once an hour, we'll have him on. Big day, Charlie Kirk's birthday. He'll be in Doylestown registering voters, giving out stuff. Get a Freedom shirt. Go and meet him. And we'll see what the vibe is there. Also, we're going to have on at 12:30, I believe, the head of the RNC, their role in upcoming elections. I know in Jersey, the money that's being thrown in to Mikey Sherrill is unparalleled. And you got to know they're mad about it. They don't think they should have to spend money like this to win New Jersey, but they are deeply worried. You look at Chitterelli, crowd size can sometimes not be a good barometer. But in this case, day after day, he's drawing big crowds in Democrat areas even, and the rally was stunning. It sends a message. She's on the ropes. The polling indicates that. It's going to be based on turnout. And she's having trouble, particularly in places like Newark, for example, with Black and Latino voters. Particularly Latino voters could be instrumental in this. And then tomorrow, the Kirk birthday, the rally that we had there was younger and spiritual. Almost every speaker dipped into that some way or another because that's what's playing out. And that stuff, they're looking for a place to land to make the point about them being involved now. And that place will be here in Jersey. Not sure about Virginia, but here in Jersey, that's where it's going to land. And if it does, it's going to be a win. All right, Phil in the Northeast is in. He's on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Phil, good afternoon.
Paul. Good afternoon, Don. Tomorrow is the 78th anniversary of the world's first sonic boom. Captain Chuck Yeager, flying an experimental Bell X-1, exceeded 700 miles per hour at 43,000 feet, breaking the sound barrier.
Why was Yeager never an astronaut? Was he too old, they thought, at that point?
If you watch the movie The Right Stuff, he kind of played it. He said he had a line in it. You guys are spam in a can. Obviously, he didn't mind riding through the atmosphere with a rocket strapped to his behind, but he wouldn't ride it into space.
Ah, okay. Well, I got to think, is it Chuck Yeager or is it Sully that I want flying the plane? Probably Sully.
Probably Sully.
Yeah,
I mean,
Chuck Yeager's going to get you there quicker, but Sully, let's land on the Schuylkill today. The audacity. I'm surprised nobody said him. There's a pioneer. Hey, that's it. He could have kidded himself. We'll make it to the airport. We'll make it. We'll make
the
it.
LaGuardia.
We'll make it. Nope. I'm landing on the Hudson. And the co-pilot, at least appears to be, says, all right. That's how this guy, amazing too. And just a great role. I don't know if it won any awards or not, but the guy should have. All right, Drew in Upper Darby was a big winner the other day there at Mulligan's. Hey, Drew.
Hey, Dom, thank you. I had a great time. I can't thank you enough. And I can verify Henry Stroh. I thought I was watching Doug Flutie.
He's a little bit taller.
I was going to say, I'm a little taller than that.
He's a little bit taller than Doug Flutie. All right, well, it seems next event, who's going to catch the Bridgestone ball? That's what we're going to see from Henry.
Well, you know what? With all the sticking you're talking about, it reminded me of Fred Bolitnikoff. You remember him?
Oh,
with
yeah.
the Stickum?
Love that guy. Yeah.
Hey, Dom, on my answer, I don't think you're going to like the answer, but you know what? In the early 60s, Pete Rozelle, the NFL commissioner, he saw how popular the product was, and here it is, Dom, like you say, here's the money shot, revenue sharing. So if it wasn't for the revenue sharing, I know it's socialism, there'd be no Kansas City Chiefs and Buffalo Bills.
All right, I got Pete Rozelle. Yes.
Thanks, Don.
Kind of an odious pioneer, but he's right. That's what they're socialists. At least we're all coming to Dom's point of view. You know, there's one home office. It's in New York, and these are all just centers of socialism around the area. That's what they do. So does America embrace socialism? Well, they embrace football. They don't care. There's an exception. Earl of Tacony. All right, Earl, who do you have today?
Dom, I'm going to go with George Lucas. He said special effects can look better in movies, and he developed ILM. He said movies can sound better, so he came up with THX. And he innovated marketing in movies. It used to be that the studios always held on to the marketing rights, and George Lucas negotiated that he has the marketing rights for his films. And they said, well, what are you going to do? Sell posters? He says, no, I'm going to sell toys. They said, what are you, a moron? How much money can you make selling toys? And he made $29 billion since Star Wars first came out, selling toys.
Thank you, Earl. Boy, that is, yes. And by the way, the Trump merch there was, it's amazing how many Trumpian things are in gold or whatever. There's never been anybody that's had more. And there are 2 or 3 Trump stores still in Wildwood. I don't know how they exist in October, but they're there. All right. Here's Eminem and Joe of Exton. What a duo. Let's go to Joe. All right, Joe, how are you? Good afternoon.
Yes, hello, Dom, and good afternoon. My pioneer is Oppenheimer, who developed a system of destruction so devastating that he felt compelled to invoke divine recognition that his innovation was carried out of righteous motivation.
Exactly. Great film, too. I know the film is long, but my God, it was the winner. Should have been the winner. Okay. Kirk, we'll start with you. A lot of worthy, even on Columbus Day, a lot of callers today. Who did you like that you think was a trailblazer pioneer?
You know what? Since we're the #1 talk radio station,
okay,
I'm going to go with Rush Limbaugh from Don from Ranconia.
It was a good call.
Yep.
And Rush, of course, anybody in talk radio recognizes the difference of what he did. There's only one of a kind. At one point, there was only one Stern. Now there's a phony Stern. But
exactly right.
Yeah, I could tell you the difference between the wannabes and Limbaugh and Stern and why they're different. But Henry.
Yeah, there were 4 I liked today. In chronological order, I like Joe Columbus's answer of Bradbury Robinson, who invented the forward football pass.
Shocking.
Yeah. Robert Ben Salem with the answer of Nikola Tesla, because he invented things even though no one was really asking for them.
It was a great insight.
I like Paul in the Northeast's answer of Chuck Yeager. We're talking about anniversaries tomorrow and birthdays and whatnot. Why not the anniversary of the day someone broke the speed of sound? That's a great one. And then I liked Earl of Taconi's answer of George Lucas revolutionizing movies and not just, sound and picture, but with merchandising.
I do like, and it did tie into today. Let's go with Yeager. That was a good one.
All right, Paul in Northeast.
Spurred a lot of good conversation. Good stuff. All right, so we have a winner today. And remember, at the end of the week, by the way, on Friday, we have Dinesh D'Souza and Scott Jennings already booked. Ooh. Tomorrow, the head of the RNC, and hope to have a bunch of other people here and a great side question. Thanks for listening today. Again, this rally, richest broadcast mind from Mulligan's. Thank you, Johnny, from Mulligan's. Nobody else has stuff like this. Listeners, sponsors, all in one. And football throws of over 50 yards. You're not getting that anywhere else.
Absolutely.
All right. I got to try that Bridgestone ball. A little bit smaller, and I think the 40-yard is in reach. A lot more stickum, too. All right. Rich is next for 4 big hours. Follow me on Twitter at DomShow1210, at DomShow1210. Happy birthday to Charlie Kirk tomorrow here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. So excited to announce our next official Politics and Pints with the #1 guy, Jack Carr. You heard that right. International best-selling author, Navy SEAL Jack Carr, Monday, October 13th, 7:30 p.m., the Zlock Performing Arts Center at Bucks County Community College in Newtown, PA. I'm going to sit down with Jack, an incredible discussion on his Cry Havoc book tour, the latest release in the James Reese series. Get your tickets today. It will sell out. 1210WPHT.com.
Up to $3,000 above KBB is based on KBB excellent trade-in condition. Deductions apply for damage, reconditioning, excessive wear and tear, and above average miles. Get paid to trade. At KiaofCherryHill.com, we're offering up to $3,000 over Kelley Blue Book trade-in value for your current vehicle. Get up to $3,000 more for your trade. But that's not all. Shop our massive selection of tariff-free Kias. Upgrade your ride today at KiaofCherryHill.com. That's KiaofCherryHill.com.
Fall is in the air. The leaves are turning, the games are on, and it's the perfect season for something truly one of a kind. At Cozy Jewelers in Newtown Square, custom jewelry isn't just a service, it's a passion. For 35 years, this family-owned business has created timeless, handcrafted pieces that tell your story, all designed and made in-house. And when it comes to jewelry that stands out, don't forget the 5th C. Cut, color, clarity, carat, and cozy. Make this fall unforgettable with Cozy Jewelers.
It's time to cut your old point-of-sale system and revolutionize your business with PDQ POS. Joe Flynn and his team at PDQ have been the industry leader for over 35 years. They offer everything from mobile POS to self-service kiosks and the best service and support in the industry. For the fastest, easiest, and most reliable POS available, trust PDQ POS. No matter how many locations you have, They'll build a custom solution for your business. Visit pdqpos.com.
With the crisp fall air just around the corner, let's talk about your fireplace. That's right, you heard me. Do you have an old, drafty, or smelly fireplace? For over 30 years, Rettinger Fireplace has been transforming fireplaces in the tri-state area into beautiful, authentic, and efficient systems easily operated by remote control. Want to love your fireplace again? Call 855-GET-RET to schedule your free consultation or visit RettingerFireplace.com. Choose Rettinger Fireplace, where details make the difference.
Prioritize yourself and make your dream of an attractive, healthy smile a reality at PI Dental Center. The professionals at PI Dental have been transforming patients' smiles for over 38 years. Board-certified specialists, Dr. Glenn Wolfinger and Dr. Robert Slough, perform complex dental makeovers with their teeth-in-a-day protocol, where dental implants are placed and restored with fixed teeth in just one day.